Hello, everyone, and welcome to Amaterasu's presence here show match between Hardstuck Silver and the Alpha Wolves with an F. I'm D'Lo, here with Cash Money Morty joining me on the mic. We got Almighty Eye in the Sky, Test Day, making it the Pal Al Posse. Mort, how are we feeling?
I feel phenomenal to see some of the players on the field today, right here in front of us. We've got the almighty Chubby Ostrich, a very known player amongst the SMITE competitive community, as well as Vexation, a hard hitter as well. There's definitely some big names here, and I'm expecting some very big action.
It's Smite 2 as well. I'm expecting some big things, you might even say, Mort. And we're seeing some big bans coming in from the outset. Fenrir certainly been quite the threatening force in that jungle. Bacchus has been a threat no matter where they decide to drunkenly amble to, so can't quite blame them for being locked away for public drunkenness. And now that leaves open Susano, Jingwei, Sol, plenty of high threatening picks.
I'm a big fan of the Fenrir getting knocked out of the way from Hardstuck Silver. I'm sure most people would expect that Alpha Wolves would go for the Fenrir right off the bat, but it looks like Hardstuck Silver, they're going to lock in the Loki, which is a very big one. I like the Loki a lot, especially in Smite 2. What is brought to the table with this somewhat new kit, Assassinate still prevalent as ever. I think Loki's going to be doing a lot of big things here tonight.
A lot of big things, a lot of big damage numbers. You know that's what we like to see here in Amaterasu's presence. We're seeing two big ADC picks being locked in here. It's the strategy we just saw Cowabunga off Smite Prime nary one night ago win off of. You can't quite blame them for trying to replicate that same success. Jingwei and Sol join the squad.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it's a pretty common phrase that you hear a lot within, not even Smite, just life in general. So if you see success in somebody else's, gameplay, I think it's makes sense to rip off the ingredients of the recipe and try and formulate your own dish from there.
We're not in high school. You don't need to cite your sources. No APA, MLA format. It's just going to be KILL instead that we're going for. Question is, what do you do to counter it? Of course, you got a Loki who can eliminate those squishy targets with a bit of ease. So that dive will certainly be useful. But what's going to be backing them up? You can't just allow Jingwei and Sol to auto you for free. It's going to be the Neath instead. We're looking for damage of our own. Those snipes can certainly be potent.
For sure, when built correctly, well, maybe not correctly. It's hard to say what is correct and incorrect because we are so new to this product, this content. I mean, there's still, even like the top dogs, the best players are still trying to formulate their strategies now that we have this newly brought in strength and intelligence. What works? What doesn't work? What is going to be doing the most damage? What has the lowest cooldown and is also worth gold efficiency? I mean, there's so many numbers and calculations to be had here. I might be going off on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, for sure, it's hard to match that power. Chalk locked in, though. I think it's a good one. You have that attack speed debuff from the Rain Dance. That is definitely going to be hurting that power from Jingwei and Sol going into the matchup.
I mean, I know you've been doing damage numbers on that shock yourself, Mort, but it locked in against it. It might be my particularly favorite pick. This just might be a battle of the casters brought to life here on the field. Do it. Lock in the Ymir. It's a song of ice and fire, a tale as old as time. They're just going to be teasing us with that idea, but I do love it. That being said, let's go back to what we do know. Neath, you're right. There's a lot of leeway you can have there, particularly those intelligence-heavy builds I've found to be very potent. Cosmic Horror with Transcendence gets you some huge power spikes, and those World Weavers start to do big, big numbers. So I like that ability to just try to eliminate the health bar of a Jingwei or Sol. If they get even a bit below half, you could find yourself liable to eat an arrow to the face. Alpha Wolves still trying to consider. They're just mogging and pogging right now as they wait to see if the Ymir is the right way to go.
I really like the chalk pick. I can advocate for the chalk because you're able to become incredibly tanky. This time around, it's not just about protections and health. It's also about the intelligence. That's definitely a big part of it for sure, is building up that intelligence with chalk to develop a Rain Dance and, become just the tankiest son of a gun on the field. Speaking of tanky, we're going to go with the opposite of that. Susano probably jumping into the jungle, maybe a solo. I mean, you never know with Smite 2.
Why not? Like, just throw him anywhere. That guy's got 3 dashes. Add a blink on top of it just for a bit more seasoning. Ares is going to be the one trying to keep him in one spot. Says, please stop dashing around, you crazy lunatic. There's no escape for you. So Nuno's going to try to turn him into bacon strips as well. So at the very least, you got your ADC within hands locked in.
I see a lot of physical damage from Hardstuck Silver.
Oh,
I think it's
shoot. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. Sorry, like no, I'm
okay.
recognizing that as well. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
on it 4. That's
that's a
rough.
lot. That is a lot. So it's going to be easy for the Ymir. I don't know why that threw me off so much. It's going to be easy for the Ymir to counter build here, and also we know that AOE prots are out of the picture, but I wouldn't be surprised to see even Susano and this potential Mordred pick up
Yeah.
maybe a hide of the Nemean Lion or whatever else to get rid of all that physicality that you see.
You're relying on Ares for all that magical damage, and that doesn't necessarily feel the greatest, especially considering probably going to be your support. Probably not going to be building into those damage items, so it allows Alpha Wolves to kind of just counter build that from the outset. Mordred locked in there. The comps are set, the die is cast, and I think Hardstuck Silver have got a hard battle ahead of them.
It can't be that hard. I mean, it's. I think they've got the odds are pretty even here compared on the drafts. I mean, obviously we know some power hitters like Jingwei, Soul, both pretty big names. You know for sure. I'm a little terrified of these crit builds I'm seeing from Jingwei. Some of these players have been making Jingwei look like an absolute cheat code going into these games, but I think I'm still excited to see some fight back from Hardstuck Silver.
And you know what? There's a lot of fight to be had. It's a best of 5 series we got here, Mort. So you're talking about the fact that, yes, this game's still new in many ways to all of us. This matchup will not be new after a short while. They'll have plenty of time to feel out their opponents, understand their strategies and the mental games. Those little chess games played in the dueling boards of our minds can begin. And that's when we start to see some real Smite action.
And Smite action is on the way indeed. I think it's going to be a weird one for sure. I'm kind of just picturing in my head how these team fights are going to go. And I think that Hardstuck Silver have really good initiation with no escape from Ares, followed up by the big lightning strike from Chalk. I think they've got a lot of team fight potential, but there's also a lot of initiation with Mordred from Alpha Wolves. And then followed up by the Ymir Shards of Ice, able to put some big damage off to follow that massive CC. Also the tornado from Susano. I didn't even think about that. There's a lot of ways these team fights could go, but I think it's going to be whoever strikes first, whoever seems to find that one body that is a little out of position, and then bam, capitalize on the situation, hit it hard, hit it fast, and win the team fight, and then run it down. I don't know. I think it's going to be a quick one.
Here's my issue, and you're right. The Ares and Shock both have great ways to begin the team fight. How do they get in? We're in a meta right now where Sunder is essentially obliged on your support. You really can't afford to have them go combat blink because then you're essentially casting the objectives to the other side of the field. And Ares really relies on that. So does Shock to begin. If I throw down an axe, I'm gonna understand you're trying to TP to it to begin the fight to get things boom shock a lock in. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm just gonna back right away instantly. And then it's gonna be a done deal. So that question of how that initiation begins, it might be on Loki's shoulders, in fact, to start to turn Alpha Wolves' heads, maybe get the pack disoriented a little bit to allow the rest of the fight to begin in earnest. So in that sense, Hardstuck Silver have got to make sure they've got a good game plan going for them. Whereas Alpha Wolves, if you were to say what ideally looks like their game plan, what do you think they're aiming for in these team fights?
Well, to answer that question before I go into that, that grass is definitely going to be a part of how they can play to this.
True.
I mean, the bush is something that a lot of these Smite players are not familiar with. Unless you're a Marticarus main, you're not familiar with the fact that you can hide in one place, all 5 members of your team, and a couple members walking by, what to do? I'm on my way to the fire giant, and then bam, you're hit with the no escape and everything else in between. I mean, you never know when situations like that can go down. But that being said, you are right. The Sundering is a massive, massive relic right now, and having to substitute that with the combat blink, it can make these team fights go better. But then your objectives don't go your way 100% of the time. There's big sacrifices to be made there. But I think that the blink could be worth it. I think if they just win enough team fights and run it down, then there's no contesting from Alpha Wolves. They just have to watch the objectives go by.
Hopefully get that Sigma mindset going, because Hardstuck Silver, I still think that you have got those big issues working against you. It's one, of course, like we said, that split decision, the dichotomy of Smite player in the moment. Do I opt for that blink? Do I opt for that other relic that gets those objectives a bit more free? And then secondarily, It's the 4 physicals. That's still a threat. That's still an issue. That's still something they have to realize and contend with. If Alpha will start to build against that early, start locking down those physical prots from the outset, Hardstuck Silver are going to be on a timer. So I'm really hoping to get the ball rolling quick to ensure that this game doesn't go on too far.
I even if the numbers don't look right for Hardstuck Silver, I think the draft is a really big part of it, right? You've got the Wild Hunt from Sir Nunos able to polymorph everybody around. They can't do anything. You've got the silence from Chalk to make sure that they can't run away from the polymorph. So that's essentially a 5-second silence. That is nuts. How much can happen in 5 seconds is crazy. Followed by the no escape, everything else. I mean, you're seeing the guys just as well as I am, D-Lo. You know that there is a lot of AoE bursts. There is a lot of CC on the field for these gods. I'm a little terrified if I were Alpha Wolves.
There's a lot of circles. I like circles. Circles are good. Shock Storm Call, awfully big. You've got the Unravels from the Neath. You've got that Wild Hunt from Sir Nunos. You've got the No Escape from Ares. It's just, again, about making sure you're wily enough to get that initiation without costing yourself too many resources. So, yeah, use the grass to your advantage. You said that, yeah, these SMITE players don't know a thing about that. Hey, if you've been playing Pokemon Unite, you've been used to that from day one, baby. So hopefully they've been getting their Pikachu rounds in. They know what's up there, because that way they can make sure they're not bush checking for the Alpha Wolves to ensure that Hardstuck Silver don't prepare a nice little guerrilla ambush. So I just got to ask you here, Mort, as we prepare to get on into this game, comp for comp here, who do we favor?
Comp for comp, if we're ignoring players and skill that's on the line, if we're just going to look at straight 10 gods, 5 versus 5 gods, as much as I want to go with Alpha Wolves, I'm a big fan of the Ymir pick. I like the Mordred as well, and how that's going to be worked in, assuming that's a Mordred solo. It's a bit of a rule bender. It's a meta breaker almost. I mean, we don't really have a real meta yet, but it's definitely different. But I think Hardstuck Silver, they just got such a great team fight. Really, the only chance that Alpha Wolves has is maybe that duo lane. You know, Ymir and Soul, that's a lot of early damage. So maybe they hit it hard in the early game. They get a little bit of love from Susano, assuming that's their jungler. Then they're able to rotate over to the Gold Fury and get a lot of gold online. Alpha Wolves have some potential there. But for the most part, I think Hardstuck Silver, you know, if they get to even 20 minutes, they're probably going to take this.
I gotta go against you, my friend, and partially, of course, is Ymir. So, like, that was already set in stone. But like you said earlier, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Alpha Wolves are going by that logic. They're following the pack leader, Paul, and the rest of Cowabunga, who made this comp so successful prior. Yes, of course, there's a bit of differentials in terms of the pedigree of those players, but nonetheless, you could still replicate success. And if you've seen that game plan put in action, who's saying history can't repeat itself once again? So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And must be said here as well, cash money on the line here. Cash money, Morty. And I know that you're a gambling man yourself, so you've got to respect what $5 can do to motivate a man to greatness. Here on the line, it's 20 bucks divided amongst the team. It's going to be some big stuff. That's all Chipotle Bowl, bro.
Damn, that's a Chipotle Bowl where you're at? That's a...
There's no Chipotle even here in Argentina, man. I wish that was how much a Chipotle Bowl would cost. I wish there was any Chipotle here. There's no spice. But there's going to be spice on the battlefield. At least I hope.
I think it's funny that you say history repeats itself, because as of right now, we talked about this a little bit earlier. There's no history here. There is very little history. This alpha weekend, well, not weekend, this alpha phase came out on the 27th of August. We are about 2 weeks in, more or less. History is minute. It is minimal. We are still in the very early stages of the history books. So to say history could repeat itself, I mean, I guess there is history to be seen. We had SMITE Prime last night, a couple other, you know, we're going into rank queues and normal queues and kind of gauging things out. But I don't know. History is going to be written tonight. That's for sure.
History is only written by the victors, Mort. If they end up taking out Hardstuck Silver, they won't be alive to write down their songs and stories to pass down to the next generation. This is actually also not just a cash tournament, it's also a tournament to the death. The 5 members that lose will be executed live on
Whoa!
Can you imagine? That's what Hardstuck Silver got to go up against. The Alpha Wolves are going to tear their throats out, at least they're open to, and Hardstuck Silver need to hope that their silver bodies abilities can stand up resistance. We're going in a game here. It's the show match. It's the best of 5. It's Hardstuck Silver running for their lives. Ymir's coming for you, and they want to take it all. The Wolfpack's howling. Hardstuck Silver locked back beneath their own tower already. It's a 4v4 already here in this left side. Shock and Mordred just going to high five on the other side of the field. They don't want any part in this nonsense. While Hardstuck Silver already poked out just a little bit. Those chains can't be followed up by the flames. It's just about whose level 1 abilities are better. And we're seeing the answer right here. Man like Mo takes down Pramila. Might just be Simir going down next by the Ymir. I'm the real one who's got the rhymes. And I got the flames as well on this soul. They're just doing so much damage. 2-0 already. We just got into this game.
Early aggression definitely pays off here. Take a look, as now not only going to get a kill, but maybe walking away with another.
Dear sweet God, guys. Come on. Can't we just leave it alone? I don't even think we're going to be looking for camps. We're just looking for kills. Lil Cuba brings the big damage and takes down Vexation. Now they're looking a bit low. They still want in on this. Sir Nunos going to try to put up to the stand. Didn't quite work out too well for them. That's 3 kills here, all dropped in on this left side. Alpha Wolves are lusting for more blood.
Can't blame them. There's a lot of blood on the field. I mean, just like we said earlier, history is going to be we're writing the history books right now. We're setting in stone what's going to be happening in future instances, just like this one over here. Okay, that's how. Chalk moving over the wall there. I was thinking, I mean, Chalk's going to be cake here, but Chalk's got a couple moves up his sleeve.
Base Tat, unfortunately, moving back to the fountain, thanks to a nice gank from that Susano. 4-0 here. Less than 2 minutes in. It's looking rough, Mort. It's looking rough. This aggression is quite scary to deal with, especially on a comp that we've seen, again, prove to such great success. Chubby Ostrich securing their buff. What can Hardstuck do to try to counter it?
We talked about this during the picks and bans phase, that it's going to be a waiting game. It's definitely going to be a waiting game for the Hardstuck Silvers. Now we see a kill from Fear. Definitely going to be doing some more snowball building for Alpha Wolves. They want to hit it early. That's what we talked about, and they're absolutely doing that right here.
Ooh, unfortunately, the snow just got melted. Little Cuba going to be turned to a puddle of water in that dual lane. Finally puts Hardstuck Silver on the board. That's what you needed, honestly. The Ymir might have been the scariest member of that team. Dude's got 2 kills, making me and every Ymir main in the audience proud. Susano trying to avenge their friend. Nice Storm Katana. Will the Jetstream do enough damage? One last basic. Vexation goes down, and now just trying to make their way on out. And then redeciding, hey, actually, I can fight this. Why not? You got to level up. That Jetstream's going to be security just to ensure if you need to get back out, you can. And the Wind Siphon just for a bit of extra damage. This time, though, the Sir Nunos will live.
Look at how fast things are moving here, D'Lo. 7 kills on the board, and we're barely even 3 minutes in. I mean, that's less than 30 seconds per kill.
Dear God. I mean, James A. Janice would be proud of the kill count going on here. So the game pace is rapid. Hardstuck Silver, I was worried about the counter build that could happen come late game with all those physicals. We might not even get there at this point, Mort. Where should the jungler be ambling? What can this Loki do to try to just stem this bleeding?
You don't want Jingwei to pick up, that's for sure. Loki needs to move his way over to the duo side as quickly as possible and try and put some focus on that Jingwei. Make sure that the Frost Breath is baited out from the Ymir, move in, and I think it's exactly what we're seeing in the duo lane.
Oh, we're seeing some damage in the mid lane as well. One last Jetstream. Chubby Ostrich finishes the job. Loki gets cold feet just as Soul starts heating up. 1-7. Here's another kill by Fear. Certainly putting the fear of this god into Shock's soul. 8-1 in 4 minutes.
Goodness. I mean, Chubby Ostrich picking up a lot of leadway here. We also see Solo or Throw getting some, that's 2 kills on the board for the solo lane. And look at them, not only are they getting the kills, but they're invading the jungle on solo side as well. But there's also some action happening in the duo.
Low Cuba could be a bit of danger there. No ultimates on for either of these teams. In fact, they're evened up in levels with no minions coming in. Instead, it's going to be a Neath ult. Moving on in. Nice damage there. Comes the Horn Charge. Finishes the job, and a little Cuba. Here comes those brambles as well. The chains and flames ensures that man like Mo can't go anywhere but back to base. Answers back with a nice 2 kills there in the duo lane. Meanwhile, in the mid, Typhoon dropped down. Not going to be too bad for you. Here comes Loki to finish the job. Will the decoy get the last tick? Samir answers back with Menja.
A lot of people don't expect that from the oh my god, it looks like Loki might be getting picked off here. Chubby Asher just throwing around basics and Loki barely slipping out on the backside. I think he's gonna be just fine, but we see a blink from Chubby Asher. It's gonna take Loki off of the map. Oh my goodness. That took me away from my point. Is I think it's really interesting how Ares is now able to, for those who are unaware, fire out the shackles in the middle of the flames. So you can burst out that damage even quicker than you could have in Smite 1. I think it's definitely something that everybody doesn't know about. So, you know, for those in the know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. I think that there's a lot of damage potential from Ares now in an even quicker fashion.
Shout out to all my knowers out there. We're 5 minutes in here. It's 4-9. Alpha Wolves have the favor. Don't have too much of a gold lead for it nonetheless. It's about 2,000 to their name. You know what can add to that? Another kill here on the Shock. Pursuing the weak. They smell blood in the water and the Shark's hungering for it. Nice Storm Call gets the silence on the Mordred, but Menja is not known to be quiet. Instead, they're getting loud and proud here. Takes that kill down the Shock. Shards of Ice going to be charged up. Just allows Loki a chance to try to get ahead of them. Invis moves on in. Here comes another Neath ult back on the Emir's head. One more basic finishes the job. Little Cuba goes down.
You got to be careful, little Cuba. You got to recognize the talent that you're up against. Vexation, a very known player in the competitive community, a substitute amongst many leagues, definitely somebody who has a lot of Smite experience under their belt. And even if Vexation's not in his main role, he is flexible enough to go around and just kind of cause havoc wherever he needs to. Vexation, somebody you don't want to wipe off the map.
I mean, also these ults is what you got to contend with. Permilla's been doing a great job of that map awareness, and just as I say that they might get ganked, don't you make a liar of me, gosh darn it. Nice backflip to get themselves to safety, and that's going to ensure that they don't fall to this gank quite just yet. That's nice to hear. That's a bit of respite for my friends on Hardstuck Silver. At least the Neath's been doing solid, but both of our extreme lanes, the long lane and the short lane, are having a bit of a harder time. We need to see maybe that grouping phase. That's where they excel at more. Like you said, the big circles. The question is, when do we get to a point where those can even be useful? We're seeing instead circles dropped on top of our friend the Ares. Vexation goes down again.
Or Ares. I mean, Susano is all over the map right now. It is hard to stop Man of Menja. I think it definitely, you know, you've got to realize, hey, where is the focus at? What are we trying to do? How do we get to that late game point? Right now, we kind of just see what looks like a rank game for Hardstuck Silver. Meanwhile, Alpha Wolves communicating as a team and taking down objectives as the first Gold Fury has been taken off of the map, followed by the Naglo over there. They're putting a lot of focus, Chubby Ostrich and Susano. And we even seen Invade from Mordred here.
The Naga saga continues as Hardstuck Silver just left behind in the dirt. Or at least you can get a nice kill here on the Jingwei. Could do you good, but you got to hit those basics first. Heavy Glaive and the Wild Hunter drop, just not in the quite right location. Airstrike to get to safety, but a bow. Here comes the anti-airstrike gun. Gonna shot him right out of the sky. Man like Mo back down to the ground. Samir takes credit for the kill.
Shout out to that awareness from Primera. I think Pramila, that's huge. Neath having that awareness is massive to utilize the World Weaver like you should. I mean, able to fire off that massive, you know, heat-seeking missile whenever possible. That is definitely going to help your team get some more kills on the board and get caught up to where Alpha Wolves are at right now.
Every single time that someone's low in that dual lane, we're immediately seeing that response from Pramila. It's great communication, especially for a team that is being Frankensteined just today. So you got to respect it. We got to talk a little bit at the desk about Relics, and unfortunately we're not going to have time to talk about it right now because Jingwei's about to die again. Forced out into that purification. Unfortunately, you've been purified of your life. Pramila going to do the same kindness there to Menja as well. It's going to be a 1-for-2 there across the map as man like Mo and TV Menja are the ones lost there by the Wolves, and Vexation goes down here in the mid for our friends on Hardstuck Silver. But returning back to the fact, Mart, Relics. We talked about at the desk, that force of, do you go for that Sunder? Do you go for that Blink? We're seeing Ares opt for that Sunder, Shock for the Blink. What does that mean for their team fight?
It means that you're able to get that silence out of the way. Chalk's able to blink in, get the silence off, and that means that they have nowhere to go. They can't dash out. They can't blink out. They are forced to just walk away. Vexation can sneak up and get the chain off, which lets him walk even faster. Shackles does have that movement speed steal, and then he's able to walk up, activate that no escape, and run them back in yet again. I think that you're definitely able to get a little bit of chain CC. It might not work as smoothly as we talk about it here, but yeah, I mean, definitely it's gonna be some hot action from Sexy Vex.
It's nice to at least have a game plan, even if it can't quite go all ideally according to plan, because of course Alpha Wolves have their own plan to work against it. It's good to have something on paper, a flowchart. We're just going to have to wait to find out once they start to group if that's indeed coming to fruition. Because so far, the only real synergy we're seeing so far is Pramila anytime under pressure. In fact, here it is again. Ult incoming, eaten up by that soul. It could be in a bit of an issue though. Blinks right back in. Face stat gets put back down on the ground. Chubby Ostrich returns the favor thanks to a nice gank there by Samir. And Ymir gonna be going down just a second. Tries to rocket jump away. Lil Cuba might just get the bait off instead. Ooh. Menja comes in out of nowhere. I need a hero, and one comes riding in the middle of the night. Now Ares looking for the final vestiges of damage on a Ymir who is long since backed. Decides I'll just offer a nice kill on a Menja instead. The Chains and Flames gonna force Menja back. They say we'll call this one a draw. A lot of blood and bodies dropped here in the duo.
Shout out to Menja sneaking up from out of nowhere. Just when you think, oh, it's just a little low health Ymir, you know, running around the corner, I'll be just fine. Next thing you know, bam, Menja's there just taking your health bar like it's candy from a baby.
Pramila, I've got to say, was also a key facilitator of the fight. Once again, the pressure there put onto the Soul, it didn't end up resulting in them dying. In fact, they got the kill before they fell. But we're seeing it here. Pramila's been so astute, so map aware, and such a great contributor of these fights despite never really being bodily present. So we can only imagine how it's going to go once they actually join the squad. Base stat, unfortunately, might be joining their ancestors back in heaven, Supernova, as well as that Typhoon ensures that Chubby Ostrich picks up another kill.
You know, before this, Face Stat was doing pretty fine. You got to think 2, 1, and 5 is where Face Stat was before that kill from Menja, and now what we just saw on screen. I think Face Stat is definitely still not one to be ruled out. I'm not a big fan of the Sir Nuno's God himself, but I do like, I do like the gameplay I see from Face Stat.
I like that interaction we just saw there, that Pursue the Weak clanks right against the Storm column because he's CC immune, that shock in that phase. Not going to be taken to the sky, doesn't have to experience that big animation. Fortunately, we've got to experience with a Gold Fury loss. Alpha Wolves picked that one up on the left side. Hardstuck Silver, for all the map awareness they do show, they're just not quite privy to when these objectives are being dropped. They have a bit of ward vision on the map, just not in the places where it quite counts. Naga tries to pick it up, unfortunately, dropped just as quickly.
Well, I think the warding is a big part of it for sure. Is because Alpha Wolves are just grabbing objective after objective. I mean, that's 2 Gold Furies down, and I believe they've got a Nagla under their belt as well. So they're definitely going to be sieging well. They're going to be fighting well because they've got more gold in pocket. Things are looking really good for Alpha Wolves. But Hardstuck Silver needs to get to that late game phase that we talked about many times before here. And I think once they get there, once Hardstuck Silver can get some more gold in their pockets and they can get to this 5-man fighting phase, it looks like Hardstuck Silver might have some good odds. But for right now, Alpha Wolves just running the map is what it seems like.
Ooh, Chubby Ostrich, I was about to say in trouble, but they're going to reverse it right on their head tops, dodging through those glaives like they're a balloon trying to evade him in tower defense. Excellent work, but look who's approaching from behind. It's the Ares, puts the chains on you. Here comes the flames. Shouldn't you be immune to being burned? Might be obliged, in fact. The no escape not going to quite work, and Chubby Ostrich can melt back to safety. Here comes the airstrike from across the wall. The kill streak. I thought we're playing Smite. Looks like we're in war zone. Vexation doesn't have to worry about that as they perish on the field of battle.
Just another example of how Chubby Ostrich is not just a name that we talk about in folklore. This is a real body. This is a real animal being let out of the cage, going absolutely crazy here in this matchup.
13 minutes now. 9-19. Dear God, what a crazy pace of game. We're about to see some more kills put on the board here. Beads there, forced out by Cern, has to dash forward just to force out away from those ice shards. Samir goes down, trades their life for Menja. Face hat taken out, but manages to get the from the grave on Little Cuba. Pramila can only witness the chaos from afar. Soul says, you want in on that action? Pramila says, I do, in fact. Steps up to the danger. Seems the minions get to be their primary focus, though, for now.
I like how you whenever you see the Ymir kill, that's when you get even more hype than you already were.
Of course. Why not? We're going to see another kill right here. Pramila, unfortunately, gets an up-close and personal demonstration. Says, stop sniping me from Chubby Ostrich. Once they're up close and personal, though, it gets a bit more difficult to stand up to the heat.
Well, the heat is hot, that's for sure. I mean, you don't want to... it's hard to go up against a hot body like Soul, that's for sure. Definitely somebody's going to be throwing some heat around the battlefield, and it could be felt across all 3 lanes right now as Chubby Ostrich has moved out of the middle lane and just kind of going where he pleases at this point, just taking out bodies left and right.
I mean, you have that tier 1 tower down. They're going to decide to try to go for another 1v2. 1v3 maybe. They still like their odds. Here comes Jing Wei and some more friends to back them up. FaceTac goes down first. Vexation right afterwards. Souls on the rampage. Samir turns tails and runs. Loki not quite wanting to fight a target that can fight right back. Unfortunately, he might be forced into that position. Jing Wei, with their wings, tries to track them down. Unfortunately, Samir melts back, playing a little bit of stealth game here. Let's see how good your bush checking skills are there, my friend. Looking to mow the lawn. They're trying to figure it out. The airstrike will hit nothing, but they're still in hot pursuit. Where in the world is Samir? San Diego. Jing Wei goes in for the leap. One more arrow in the back will finish the job. It was a great escape, almost, but unfortunately, Loki goes down.
Meanwhile, the other parts of the map, we see Chubby Ostrich and the rest of Alpha Wolves are taking this Phoenix, now looking to charge into the Titan room. We might be seeing it very early end, but no escape comes out. Chubby Ostrich does not care. Kills being taken down. Looks like Alpha Wolves are going to be running it down.
1, 2, 3. Look at me. I'm still alive. Not anymore. Little Cuba takes him away for the nice Gamir double kill. And that ensures that Alpha Wolves, they rewrite history. It has indeed repeated itself. Unless you can do much about it, Neath, I think this game one's going to be in their pocket. They stand and watch from the backside in horror. But wait, Samir's going back in. They're looking to try to put up a stand. They might be able to do it too. Chubby Ostrich gets a bit more damage on it, but Pramila is still standing, stronger than she ever did. Shut down there from the Loki onto Fear, and now they've got big reasons to be afraid. The Alpha Wolves turn their tails and run.
I was very fearful for just a moment there that Alpha Wolves are going to make this a 16-minute game. I mean, part of me is wondering, is this just how Smite 2 goes? Are we really in a fast-paced game now, much more faster than Smite 1? Or are Alpha Wolves just running around the map and doing as they please? Are they really wrecking shop that badly?
Maybe they just aren't recognizing that, hey, Hardstuck Silver are predators too, man. They're not just herbivores you can just massacre to your liking that we saw in those first 30 seconds of the game. The issue now that we have here, Mort, though, these Titans regenerate a hell of a lot slower than Smite 1, and it's going to take a long time, even with 2 Phoenixes still up, for Hardstuck Silver to feel comfortable to really leave the throne room. What's their best chance defensively to win this next fight a bit more decisively?
You better play very carefully, Hardstuck Silver. You have no idea when another 5-man group can come out from Alpha Wolves. I mean, that was a 4-man group. I don't know if you noticed, but Menja, Susanna was on the other side of the map in the solo lane. Meanwhile, the other 4 were just pushing towards that Titan. So if they get all 5 members grouped up and they just go forward, I think they might win this. I don't know. We talked about this amazing team fight composition from Hardstuck Silver, but I don't know if they, because of this massively, I don't know how they take things.
Try to take it one step at a time, and Minute just has back into this Phoenix, but it's not even there anymore. It's been burnt to cinders. So is the health bar of Menja. Bit too big for your britches there, my friend. Naughty, naughty. You'll be punished and sent back to the fountain as just compensation. FG on the mark here for Alpha Wolves, and you gotta imagine Hardstuck Silver, seeing no one in lane, recognize that. The question is, can they step up quickly enough to do much about it? 2 ADCs on the case, and Hardstuck Silver nursing that middle lane with the fire minions pouring in means no one can really do too much about this objective.
Well, if there was maybe a Sunder at disposal, if Vexation was at the right place at the right time, maybe able to pop off that Sunder and go for a steal, but sadly, we just didn't have the wards online. Vexation was not aware, and Chubby Ostrich is going to take out solo or throw.
1, 2, 3, all eyes on me, and now they're dead ski. That's unfortunate to see. 18 minutes here. 14 to 31. You should not be farming right now, my friend. Please value your life. They've met the arrows of the Jingwei before. Pursue the weak. Unfortunately, can't quite find the weak to pursue. Manages to juke that one out, drops down the decoy. Your vision's been a bit narrowed. Meanwhile, little Cuba doing some carry things, as any Ymir should be doing. Takes down that last tier 2 tower. Means that this right Phoenix, as well as the Titan, could be up to claim. Here comes the no escape to begin the onslaught. Pulls in 3. There's some good damage, but it's not enough. Face Tat gets put on a poster by Fear. They're looking for Neath next. Chubby Ostrich takes down the Phoenix, and now they're just looking to amble in and finish the job. The Titan's on its last legs, but it's going to try to put up a good fight. Not good enough. Hardstuck Silver, they go down. Alpha Wolves take game 1.
Wow, talk about an amazing matchup. Talk about action, hot, sweet action that we just saw throughout the entire game, even in the very first minutes. I mean, as soon as we cut over, we immediately saw the invade from Alpha Wolves. They're looking to hit the ground running. They realized what the composition was. They realized what they needed to do in order to find a W, and they did exactly that. Shout out Alpha Wolves for just going crazy here tonight.
They really did, dude. Like 30 seconds into this game, it was 4 kills. They are clearly not abiding by any sense of gentlemanly scholarship in terms of the field of battle. I don't care what that suit and sunglasses look says. They are not suave. They are demons out here. And if you don't respect them, you're going to get bopped.
We talked about this earlier, that this is a money tournament. I mean, think about just what a couple of dollars, a little bit of Skrilla will turn you into that dog.
That's
that
true.
Animal. And that
more money, more problems, Mort.
I got a lot of problems, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, look at this man rolling in them legacy gems. That's what you gotta imagine they're spending it on. What skin will they look to buy with those sweet $20 more? What are you thinking? What skin these Alpha Wolves, if they win it, are gonna be spend that on?
I'm telling you, Chubby Ostrich put on one hell of a clinic with that soul pick. So I think that we might see that Firefly go towards Chubby Ostrich. Not too sure. We might wait for a couple more skins to come out for soul. Maybe even that shadow skin. Let's get that Ascension Pass. Let's get a clap, maybe a taunt, and everything else that comes with the Ascension Pass. As Chubby Ostrich definitely has found his new main with that 12, 1, and 6 stat line.
Nah, he's gonna put that $5 to that $300 Vegas ticket, buddy. Get himself that Zeus skin and that nice T-shirt real quick. Easy money there. Build up them stocks. Let's see. Let's build up the numbers here on the board. Take a look at the board here as far as the stats go. More. Where does your eye wander to?
My eye, I mean, we already talked about the Chubby Ostrich, so my eye wandered there first. But if I had to make my eye wander a little bit more, I'm looking at solo or throw, picking up the Mordred, taking it into solo, and building this interesting tank kind of build that we don't see every day. Starting off with the Phoenix Shield, going to get a little bit of sustain from your abilities, and then you get shifters right after, which gives you a little bit of damage or protections depending on the situation and what is needed. Void Shield also helping your Jingwei and your Susano put even more damage out, as well as the Glad Shield, which takes all of those protections built up previously in the build and then gives you even more damage based on those protections. So it's a pretty smart build. I like what I see from solo or throw, and I think that going into game 2, that's definitely going to be a name that I keep my eyes on, as well as Lil Cuba, who did a pretty amazing job with the Amir. It really is about hitting those walls. I mean, I know how you feel. Amazing walls. We like what we see there, as well as the Frost Breath. You know, you're setting them up, and then your teammates, such as Chubby Ostrich, solo or throw, men like Mo and Menja are going to knock them down like the bowling pins that Hardstuck Silver are.
Another thing that my eye wanders to more, and it's something that you touched on before. You have 4 physicals in Hardstuck Silver. Look what Fear built. 4 shields? Dude just does not care about swords. I mean, to be fair, Mordred comes equipped with buy 1, get 2 free swords in the first place, so I guess he didn't need them. Instead, just 4 shields looking like an absolute unit, all decked out with his gear. Nary one arrow nor axe will harm me, and it's really hard when all your big damage dealers are doing that, because you can see Ares is not building any damage. That's your only hope. So I'm hoping that Hardstuck Silver, they show they can fight back. I think the comp already kind of stacked the cards against them a little bit. That's okay, though. We got more games coming at you for them to prove their mettle. Don't you go anywhere. Next game of the show match coming at you in just a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Amaterasu's presence here. Hardstuck Silver versus Alpha Wolves with this show match. Game 2. I'm D'Lo in low def here with Cash Money Morty. We got Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky, bringing you them prods. Mort, how are we feeling?
Talk about action. Talk about hot, sweet action. I mean, that was not a love story. That was some rough love making that we just. Oh my goodness. Talk about a crazy matchup for sure. That was intense to see. I mean, we saw kills coming right out of the gate as soon as we moved over, as soon as we transitioned. I mean, it's a 4v4 right out of the gate. Immediately, we saw action, one kill after another, all the way until we almost saw a 16-minute end from Alpha Wolves. They definitely hit the ground running, and I expect to see them do the same thing over and over again throughout these show matches. But it might be a little hard to do because one of their key ingredients, Jing Wei, has been taken from them and abducted by Hardstuck Silver.
I'm glad I'm in low def, bro. So my full reaction to that was not show. My jaw dropped. Jing Wei on the field here. Alpha Wolves. Hey, they got the team mascot on their side. You got to respect it. The Wolf joins their squad, no longer banned out. Instead, it was Bacchus and Soul banned away, which means Hardstuck Silver have eliminated two key pieces of that puzzle. Like you said, they banned one, they take the other one for themselves. A smart strategy, unfortunately, at the cost of two very potent assassin characters.
Now, that leaves to question where these assassin characters are going to be laning or where they'll be participating in these fights. It could be Fenrir solo. You're able to build up some of that lifesteal, some tankiness as well. It could be Fenrir support. You're able to pick up gods and put them where you like. I mean, there's a lot to think about here with two assassins on the field, with two of anything. I mean, you don't really know. I mean, we've got so many different items to choose from and build pass and ability maxes. And do I go strength or intelligence? And what does it mean if I do one of these things or the other? There's so many possibilities with what's on the field right now. And I feel like that's a point that we're going to be making for quite some time as we get into this SMITE 2 transitional phase.
For sure. I mean, Fenrir, I think, as a support has worked very well historically. If we're going by the history books, which so far have proven to not lead us astray, it's good. Because like you said, you pick someone up, you put them where you want, preferably in front of your carry to basic repeatedly over and over again until they're dead. That being said, who's that carry going to be now? It's got to be someone that we weren't quite seeing prior. I'm thinking maybe an On-Her could be nice. That's someone we haven't gotten to see yet. Cernunos, yes, I feel like is obviously an option. I personally, at least in the games as well, not even just personally, just based on the statistics, have not quite seen the CERN be brought to too much success recently as far as this new advent of the Smite 2 meta.
Well, there's two ways to look at this. I'm a big believer in the On-Her. So you've got the Fenrir able to jump, able to pounce and activate the stun, which lets On-Her position how he needs to. You like how I'm moving the chess pieces here? And he's able to correlate, okay, I'm going to pin him against the wall with my spear. So that way he's stuck in position, activates the stun, and then lets both of them go absolutely crazy. And then you have Fenrir's second, which lets him do even more damage. Or we can look at the opposite end of that. We could think that maybe this is a Fenrir support that gets a little bit of damage in his kit combined with the autumn mode of Cernunos. You know, you're getting some debuffs on there, some prot debuffs, which lets Fenrir put out even more damage. Both bodies are putting out big damage. Could be more so than Ymir's Frostbite passive. I don't know. I think there's a lot of damage capability with the Cernunos, but there's a lot of crowd control capability with the On-Her.
Keep Ymir's name out of your mouth saying that it's more damage than him. Ridiculous. But no, you're absolutely correct. That passive could certainly back up your ability to just get a bit more damage on for the rest of your team with that prot shred off the Shifting Seasons glaives. That could be nice. Neath, locked in here alongside the Ares for Hardstuck Silver. I love that. It's the one thing I really wanted to see return. Pramila was so potent on this character in the mid lane, so I'm really happy to see it back in action.
I definitely like Neath. That was one of the two players that I really, but no, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say I didn't believe in the other ones because that just kind of makes me seem a little biased. But I mean, just from the first couple minutes of gameplay, I kind of knew Pramila was going to be one of the hard hitters going into this. I mean, definitely, you know, holding their own in lane for the most part. You got camped a little bit by the jungler. I mean, you definitely got some pressure put onto you. but Neith's ability to just kind of like backflip out of any situation. There's few gods, I don't know if you've noticed this, there's few gods in Smite 2 right now that have that panic button that Neith does. You know, you're looking
That's
at
true.
something and you see something's awry, you feel it, like it's like a spider sense, and you're like, crap, I need to backflip, and then you just dip out of here. I mean, that's a great tool to have under your belt. Jingwei kind of has that, Kukulkan kind of has that, but Neith able to cover a lot of ground and really get out of a lot of situations with that. Mordred being picked up for Alpha Wolves, and I believe that gave them a lot of success from the last game. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Something we really love to run into the ground as casters. So we'll definitely be seeing a lot of success from solo or throw going into this.
There's a reason we run into the ground, because Alpha Wolves are looking to try to run you into the ground with the same tools. You can only ban one god per game, so you got to pick the rest and just hope that the team can pick it up as far as execution goes. Anubis being the hover, Anubis being the lock. Going up against the Neith here could be interesting. You can't backflip in something if you're stuck in wraps.
That's a very good point. And it's also worth noting that as soon as you start that backflip, maybe Anubis catches on, fires out the wrap, and catches you before you take off, which not only puts your escape on cooldown, but you're not going anywhere. You're now stunned.
It also tilts the hell out of you.
Yes. I would like to think that after this matchup, tilt is definitely a big part of it. And mental is something that not everybody talks about, but it's very prevalent going into competitive Smite, especially at this level when there's Skrilla on the line. You know what I'm saying? So you have to you got to be careful with your mentality of not just yourself, but your players around you and how they take the words that you're saying, and, you know, them not be as tilted as you want them, or don't want them, I guess I should say.
You want to make sure you're keeping cool heads. And what better way to do that than a nice little refreshing rain, a little bit of a cold plunge to get the muscles relaxed, get back in action. Shock making a return. You said you got your eye on our friend here in that solo lane. 1, 2, 3, hopefully going to be putting them numbers back on, because we need to see solo or throw. Not throw. We need to be making sure that they're putting that numbers on, especially if they're going to, again, be the primary initiation with that Blink Storm call. Loki as well going to be returning to the field of battle, means this comp stays pretty much the same. Sir Nunos on the other side, their final lock.
Well, we've got 10 gods on the field, and it looks like Alpha Wolves have a relatively similar comp here. I don't know how well it's going to work out. They kind of relied on Chubby Ostrich to go absolutely crazy with the soul. And not only was it picking up kills, but it was taking out objectives as well. I mean, you're able to just constantly throw basics out one after the other and just melt health bars, whether it be towers, objectives, gods. And that's kind of the power of soul. With Anubis, you don't always get that. You have a lot of damage, you have a lot of burst with Anubis, but if those abilities are on cooldown, you're kind of a sitting duck. You take a lot of focus away from your dive supports like Fenrir or maybe even Mordred. You kind of need them to pull back a little bit and say, hey, I need some help. Otherwise, Loki or Ares can walk up and make me regret picking this god. So it might result in some different things, but I also have a lot of faith in Chubby Ostrich, and me thinking that he wouldn't pick this if he didn't have faith, if he didn't have the vision. I mean, he sees what he, you know, it's working out in his head, and I believe that his head, you know, it's great.
His head is lovely, sculpted well on a nice fine set of, in this case, furry shoulders for the CERN, so hopefully going to be executing well on that vision. Ares could, no matter what, make these players regret their god picks, because that cripple off the chain is going to be very potent against Susano, against Fenrir, against CERN. It's going to be rough. Hopefully going to be seeing them put to good action. Hardstuck Silver, can they come back? Only one way to find out. Let's get in the game. We back, baby. And luckily, no one's dying off the outset. How nice is that? Welcome, everyone. Amaterasu's Presence Game 2. Hardstuck Silver versus Alpha Wolves in this show match. Alpha Wolves proving their dominance, trying to just get that Sigma grind set down. Hardstuck Silver trying to find their footing to get back into it. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Mort, joined here by Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky, joined here by you, the loyal viewer at home. Mort, early game dynamics. Do we expect to see another 4-man invade?
Well, I'm seeing 2 Sunders in the pockets of Alpha Wolves. They might be looking to go for some kind of authority. Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be looking to play aggressive, but take a look as we see Susano, Fenrir, and CERN going into this left side of the map, maybe looking to play up a little bit. Sexation definitely aware, hey, that's a Susano around the corner. We need to have all eyes on deck. That's for sure. I might think that we're seeing something crazy going down here in just a second.
Oh no, Fenrir wrapping around the backside, the guard dog, just waiting for anyone to take a step out of line. It's an interesting question of who's at the better level 1. It's not a question that we've had to ask during all of Smite 1 because it's just not really relevant. But now you have to really consider what ability you put up first, because it's not just about if it's good for PvE, but also if it's good for PvE. And at this point, seems that Alpha Wolves are going to just sound the horn for retreat. The pack slinks back into the jungle, but Hardstuck Silver is still paranoid, looking for any signs of danger.
Danger is on the horizon. I mean, we're just barely getting started here, but we've seen how these early fights go. Danger can sneak up on you at any point. Death is lurking around the corner, sitting in the shadows when you least expect it. And I think that First Blood might be coming pretty quickly here.
That is some doom and gloom there, but you're honestly completely correct. Death is inevitable, as is the First Blood, as is Alpha Wolves just running it down with that W key. The moment we're seeing that blue buff get run down, Fear has clearly invoked quite a lot of their namesake into solo or throw because they're just letting that blue buff go without any contestation.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, you kind of have to take it for what it is. You know, some situations you just can't do anything about, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. Hopefully nobody gets their hand caught in the cookie jar. Otherwise, that would be bad news.
So far here, already a very different game in comparison to what we saw in game 1, where already I think 5 people were dead at the minute mark. But that could very well change. You have both the Anubis and the Sun on the left side. They're not going to opt to rotate, and here come the chains, here comes the flames, and this is what makes this matchup so pivotal. But they have now been unbound, and they're unrestricted, free to just feed on Vexation. You thought you had the puppy on a leash, but this Pitbull bites back, and now it might be looking for the Jingwei next. Man like Mo does go down for the trade. Unfortunately, though, little Cuba mauls Face Tat to death. Gonna be a nice 2-for-1 trade in favor of the Alpha Wolves.
Something you have to keep in mind with Fenrir is this god has a lot of base damage, especially at this level. We can see that Low Cuba decided to pick up the War Flag, as well as some starters that get them into maybe that Gauntlet of Thieves. I'm not exactly sure about the tier 1s. We do see Chubbyasha pick up the kill on Promilia, not playing as safe as last game, I would presume. But yeah, Fenrir having so much early base game damage, I think that is really going to hurt Vexation and Face Tag going into this matchup.
It also hurt in areas if you step up a bit too far. My friend, you do not have the health bar to be moving up like this. A man like Mo takes down Vexation. Once again, Anubis waiting in the wings. Hope you've been doing your bush checking there, Face Tatty. You could be in a bit of trouble. So can Solo or Throw. Sticking around for just a bit too long. Finds that TP and the Rain Dance, which means they do get to safety at the very least.
Well, for now, at least. I mean, just you never know when Death is going to be lurking around the corner. What we talked about earlier, Mordred, I mean, Solo or Throw looking to keep the pedal to the metal straight to the ground and make sure that there is no breathing room for Solo or Throw. Just a little bit of O2 through your trachea, but Solo or Throw feeling confident enough to step back up to the plate here.
Gotta respect that gumption. I'm not sure if it's going to quite pay off. I hope that they're able to retain their safety because you can't be seeing the Shock take a tumble to the fountain 3 times in 3 minutes this time around. So far, not been too shabby. The game pace, like we said, slowed down immensely, and unfortunately, just as I say it, Shock gets taken out there by that solo kill. No jungle even required. At this point, what do you do with Solo or Throw to ensure your safety?
You scream at Loki and beg for help. At this point, you need to check Mordred. And I think that Loki is a great god to do so. Pick up the Assassinate and make sure that Mordred can't go anywhere. And right now, without that ultimate online, Mordred doesn't really have any type of massive escape. You are able to take advantage of an out-of-position Mordred and really punish them for their mistake. You know what I mean? I think that Loki needs to make this happen before Solo or Throw gets that ultimate online. Otherwise, I think that Solo or Throw is just going to just go crazy. Oh, I guess not Solo or Throw. That's Fear. Right. Yes. Fear will be going crazy in this matchup.
Unfortunately, the thing is, ultimate's already online. The one saving grace you do have is, in order for that ultimate to be the escape you're hoping for, you have to build up a lot of wrath first. So, not always going to be liable to have that Pursue the Weak. Sometimes it'll just be the Heart Slash. So you have to catch them before they enter combat to ensure that that actual second ultimate isn't unlocked. Unfortunately, they're looking to Boogie, and Anubis is here as well. The Raps won't quite find its mark, but here comes the Pursue the Weak. Dropped right back down into the grasping hands, and unfortunately, you're grasping for a lifeline. TV mentioned as the disco laser for us real quick. Loki gets a nice little light show. A free little show there at the astrology exhibit. That's nice. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing stars here in the dual lane too. Here comes the arrow for Face Tat. Permilia grabs a kill on counter on a man like Mo, and Ares and Fenrir agree to call this one a draw.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing we're drawing is some lovely... Wow, that was a nice... Yeah, I guess...
Dude's got a compass. That Anubis is crazy.
Heat-seeking, laser... I don't know. That was funny as hell.
He's going for it again. He says, you want to see a repeat? You got more tickets, buddy. It's 2 for 1. Unfortunately, it seems like the show might be canceled in a second as Solar Throw is just throwing haymakers with this axe. Oh, dear God. Don't let this be the reversal. Oh, thank God. Menja does go down finally. Here comes the Storm Call, calling for home, calling his emergency contacts because Solar Throw wants no part in this fight. Samir, seems that was the person who was trying to back them up. The emergency contact now is the emergency themselves as they're carried out on the stretcher. Big TP back to safety? Or is that just going to be the fountain once again? Don't know why you wanted to blink back in front of that Mordred, but it seems that they're going to be able to get back to safety. A big fight there in big favor for the Alpha Wolves.
You know, it's interesting that I would think just off the rip that Mordred would not have as much sustain as the Chalk, which means that Chalk is trying to take this Mordred early. You're trying to match that damage with the Chalk. Now, oh, that's a really good teleport, but it might not be paying off. Take a look at Mordred looking around the corner.
The only thing to fear, Mort, is fear itself, and he's here looking for that last bit of damage. Not going to find it with that blood-curdling scream, and that means that Shock, again, can stay safe. For now.
Uh-oh.
Some damage dropping down here as the ultimates compared as well. Here comes that Neath ult from Gorilla. Gonna be able to find some damage, not quite enough though. Face Tat as well as Vexation do take a tumble. Just means more kills dropped here into the bucket of the Alpha Wolves. It's about 7 minutes. It's about 3 to 10. The gold lead's not too shabby, 3,000 to their name, but a Fury will only further add to that coffer.
This might be a 3-0 sweep. I mean, I'd love to think otherwise. I'd love to see some type of underdog story from Hardstuck Silver, but Alpha Wolves running around the map and doing as they please. Every lane is looking a little rough right now. There is no love for anyone on Hardstuck Silver right now. No mercy to be shed to these players.
You just gotta hope that Hardstuck Silver can make it to the team fight portion of the game and start to come online, because so far they just have not been liable to do so. Fear, with no fear in his heart, wanders through the jungle with impunity, grabs that red buff, and Solar Throw can only just wave hello to him from the distance. Hardstuck Silver, they've got a game plan once again. This Jing Wei can certainly do damage. We've been seeing Face Tat put on some decent numbers, but only just getting that Devo's gloves, only just being able to start stacking up. It's going to be a long time coming before they really get to that point where they're really doing big damage with those bolts.
Well, I mean, there's still some good damage to be had right now. I mean, let's not undermine the fact that there's been quite a bit of kills here at just 8 minutes, 13 to be exact.
But most of those are going on the side of the Alpha Wolves, so we don't want to be seeing that. In fact, the Wolf might be getting skinned right now. Samir takes that kill for the quickness, grabs some leather straps to make some iron daggers, get them smithing up. Susano rotating to the left side to try to assuage their guilt. Fear takes down Solar Throw once again thanks to some help from the Nubis. Grabs that killing spree. Hardstuck Silver wisely going to start backpedaling away, but maybe still not recognizing the danger that lurks close. When Siphon just get a bit closer, Vexation could be in trouble. Turn into bacon strips and turn quickly into flambe. Vexation goes down. Here comes the Neath ult. Only going to be able to find a retreating Chubby Ostrich, and that's just fine. They're in no danger.
For now, I mean, Chubby Ostrich might be getting checked out later, especially by this aggressive playing Face Tat. Take a look as they're going to be chasing down here, maybe trying for the 2v1 here. Face Tat throwing out basics left and right, but Chubby Ostrich jumping back into the fight and going to take down Face Tat. Don't step to my friend, and I will make you pay for it. And
that was just Face Tat maybe not recognizing the fact that Chubby Ostrich does not care. Chubby Ostrich does not give a hoot about their own life. They play reckless abandon. They back up their friend. That's who you want in a bar fight, man. They do not care about their own safety whatsoever. Here comes the Goo Goo Naga, as it's about to be taken down here by Alpha Wolves. Unfortunately, they decided to just change attentions really quickly onto the Loki. Get themselves a nice little snack on the way up. Not quite. So the Naga saga continues, and Alpha Wolves will grab that one for their pockets.
Man, I don't know. I know you're going to ask me this question, so I'll answer before you even waste your breath. I don't know what Hardstuck Silver do. I mean, they keep grabbing camps as they can. They keep, doing what they everything that's possible. That 30 gold sitting on the side, camps here and there, taking out waves, splitting up XP. But it's going to take a little bit of waiting, a lot of waiting actually, for Hardstuck Silver to get to that late game point that we all talk about, where odds are even and they can just fight evenly.
It's going to take this Jingwei not dying again, and unfortunately we might not be obliged that luxury. Here comes the Neithel to try to slow them down, but only it's going to come in right after the deed is done. Face Tat taken off once again. Samir rotates to take down man like Mo. Now having a good chance here. It's Loki against Fender. That's his son. This is a battle of parental abuse. Beautiful work there to get him to fight, turn tail and run, and Aries going to ensure that he cannot come back for more. At the very least there, Hardstuck Silver respond pretty well. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
For now, it might be 1-for-1, but I think here in just about 5 minutes, Alpha Wolves are going to be grouping up and doing exactly what they did last game, which is just seizing bodies one after another on the battlefield. I guess they've already been doing that, but it's not going to be one after one. It's going to be 3 or 4 bodies down at once. They're going to push, they're going to siege and grab whatever objectives are around, maybe a Gold Fury, maybe a Nagla, whatever else. I mean, I think that there is high hopes for Alpha Wolves, but I mean, look, I'm a big fan of the underdog story, and Hardstuck Silver, I really want you to pull this one out here.
Ooh, looks like we can pull a nice little kill out of our back pockets here in the back end of the jungle. Menja just getting a bit too big for his britches, trying to raid the enemy side. Means that you get a bit of respite. 30 seconds down for the Jackal God of Death. The question is, what can you do with it at this point? You have 3 members grouped here on this right side. Split attentions. Some looking for Susano, some looking to try to just staunch the bleeding here in the solo lane. It's a 2-level deficit here for our friend the Shock. They're still trying to mollywop this Mordred as if they still can box.
Well, I mean, you've got the healing with Solo with Throws Kid. You've got a little bit of healing inside to make sure, hey, I can out-sustain this crazy... Oh, here comes the ultimate.
Let's see if you can sustain him with this. No escape, going to pull him right back in. They have no ultimate. Here comes a Storm Call as well. Maybe needed a bit earlier to try to get them still in tower. In fact, the damage might still reign true. They're trying to finish the job, and they will. The only thing to fear is fear itself. And with that, they will treat back their job's been done.
Wow, look at even Lil Kuba getting some more action in for Alpha Wolves here. Samir doing some big things as well. One-on-one here, a little bit of that parental abuse that we talked about earlier, but Lil Kuba says, you're not going to ground me, Dad. I'll take you out right here, right now. The Alpha Wolves are looking absolutely crazy here. Shout out to Lil Kuba. Shout out to Solo with Throw, who is definitely not throwing. As a matter of fact, they are soloing anyone who looks at him funny.
Fenrir is the Unchained, the Ungroundable. Let's see if you can do the same thing here in Vermilia. Gonna have to try to backflip out quickly, but can you do so around the Typhoon? That was beautiful work. My God, what a clip. As well as Vexation, gonna be able to stay alive. Retreats back, deciding if they want to re-enter the fray. Face Tat certainly knows what they want to do, but those grasping hands will immediately dissuade them from trying to continue the fight. Still trying to go with his 2v1, but look who's waiting in the wings. It's the Ungroundable, trying to put you 6 feet under. Here comes the Brutalize onto Vexation. They did a little bit of a swip swap there for the targets. It's going to succeed. Vexation goes down at the hands of Mendra. Here comes the Light Show. Face Tat wants no part of that, and they're going to have a part of that Brutalize instead. Chubby Ostrich on the killing spree takes down the Jingwei. Rotation here from Samir, but they're going to be slipped up by this Anubis, potentially. No, but Ninja comes back there with the damage. Here comes little Cuba trying to counter them right back. Let's see if this parental abuse story can continue further for the puppy dog. Unfortunately, no, the father gonna disappear like, unfortunately, the father who went back for milk and never came. That's just gonna be the end of that fight there in the back jungle. Hardstuck Silver trying to show teeth, but Alpha Wolves are still lapping up their blood.
What's the point in having teeth if they're not sharp? Right now, Hardstuck Silver's teeth are looking a little dull. Maybe they need some new dentures. Maybe they need some claws to sharpen their teeth with, or maybe some bone to chew on to make sure that they've got a better bite. Because right now, Hardstuck Silver, as much love as I have for the team, as much as I, enjoy watching the players on the field, I think they just need to do a little more crafting with comps and they need to play a little more safe in the early game, and then they'll be able to find some success. But right now, Alpha Wolves are doing anything but losing.
FaceTat, they're going to have to use all their kit to try to escape. They do that successfully. Now they can decide to opt the out back in. Here comes the Wild Hunt, but it's going to come a bit too late. Man like Mo goes down. No escape. They're going to pull back in the Fenrir in just a second. A brilliant fight here by Hardstuck Silver. Shuts down Little Cuba and puts themselves back with a bit of momentum.
Well, let's not rule it out here as Chubby Ostrich is lurking around the corner, and I'm not sure that FaceTat is aware. Very low on mana. All the better pickings for Chubby Ostrich, who's going to bust out the Tempest. Oh, Chubby Ostrich getting so much damage out, and FaceTat trying to fly away, but your wings won't get you high enough. Oh, my God.
That updraft is unfortunately going to be costing you. Fly too high into the sun, and you get burned. 10-20 here. Hardstuck Silver. Trying to answer back. It's about 15 minutes into this game. About an 8,000 gold lead. Definitely not solid, but definitely not insurmountable. Hardstuck Silver's got to find more picks like we saw there in that dual lane. More coordination there with Permilia, and they can get back in. No big objectives off the mark either. It's only 2 gold Furies down, so you don't have to worry about the Ancient. Just worry about Permilia's life instead. Dodges that wrap. Can you dodge that ult? Not going to be successful, which means they're not going to live. Permilia goes down. Chubby Ostrich exits stage right. FaceTat trying to pursue. Fear trying to pursue them. Vexation still falls from behind. We've got a conga line here in the jungle. FaceTat doesn't want to dance. They're going to dance in hell instead. Vexation now needing to retreat, having lost their partner. Hard Slash means you're going to be sticking around for a bit longer than you intended. Here comes Boogie on the floor. Vexation going to be back in heaven with his Jingwei friend. Tower goes down there in the mid lane. Killing spree there for Samir, but still does not feel good when 3 corpses litter your side of the field.
Alpha Wolves say the only dance that we're going to be doing is on the graves of Hardstuck Silver, and the tombstones are definitely piling up here in the graveyard. I think that we might need another one to make sure that we've got all the tombstones accounted for. 11 kills to 23 at only 16 minutes. Wow, Alpha Wolves are putting on a clinic.
Naga Saga continues here for the Alpha Wolves as they just continue that objective dominance. We got Samir to try to answer back. Here's the pressure onto Permilia. Might be in a bit of trouble. That heal's not going to be enough. Chubby Ostrich closes the gap, closes the book on the Neath. Now in hot pursuit is Loki. They're both rotating for this left side. Wild Hunt going to be beads out, which ensures that they want no longer any part in this fight. FaceTat, hot pursuit. Let's see how it works out for them. A few more bolts in the back. Here comes the jet stream. Might force them back. They're a bit scared of that Susanoo with good reason. Bit more damage here from Samir from that clone, but it's not enough. Means the Alpha Wolves can live to see another day.
They might be living to see many more days than today. I think that right now there's just no chance of stopping him. As much love as I have for Hardstuck Silver and the underdog story that is possible, I think the Hardstuck Silver need to do a lot of theory crafting in order to find a W here. I think they've got a good game plan here. Take a look at this initiation.
Looking at the Fenrir, unfortunately looking at FaceTat goes down again to Fear. You have the Loki clone, which puts them actually in a bit of an invisibility position. They can't really see where they're going, and as they decide where they're going is back to base. They'll be satisfied with their 1 kill. At the very least, it's not as bad as it could have been. As I say that, though, here comes the blink from Menja. Not going to quite find the mark. Loki had already backed to safety. And still, this dual lane holds strong. Hardstuck Silver keeping this tier 1 alive. Question is, can you keep this Neath alive as Chubby Ostrich moves in with the Typhoon, the winds of change, sweep him up, and send him right back to the fountain. Unstoppable here for the Susanoo.
Unstoppable is definitely the correct word here. I mean, I just don't see any feasible theory where Hardstuck Silver is going to be able to pull this one out.
Oh, here comes the light show. Here comes the damage. Right back on your head top. Menja going in a bit too deep once again. Anubis has got to be careful. That's a longer timer every single time you go down. 37 seconds now before the God of Death crops back up. Grants Hardstuck Silver another respite. But it's only respite. It's never momentum. In fact, that's still going in the pockets here of Alpha Wolves as they grab that 3rd Fury. And losing that next one is not a luxury Hardstuck Silver have. Ancient Fury means that all of your structures go down. Might be Loki going down right at the moment. Gonna be able to escape thanks to that invisibility, but FaceTat, we know what they want. Aggression. The question is it the right time for it?
I think that there's very little instances where it's going to be the right time. You need to find these opportunities whenever possible, and it's very hard up against Alpha Wolves because they've been positioning like pros. They are stuck to each other like glue, like flies on fly traps, like peas in a pod. Alpha Wolves are moving as a unit, and it's going to be hard for Hardstuck Silver to pull anything out of their butts if they're not able to take these couple bodies as a team.
Try to look in the prison wallet, see what you can come up with, because you need to find a tool to victory. I do think it is still this dual lane combination. This Jingwei, when restrained, you just got to make sure you're not being too aggressive, and we might be seeing it again. 3 members slowly choking around them. Permilia recognizing that, charging up that arrow just to try to buy them some time. You might buy yourself a tier 1 tower, but is that going to be enough? Because they're still looking awfully healthy on the Alpha Wolves, and they're just going to look to dive on in. Ares and Jingwei both retreating back, trying to see if they can get back to safety. It seems that Vexation might be the one whose life is laid for sacrifice as they try to amble their way into the jungle. At any moment here, Tess will certainly bring us to watch Vexation die. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, they'll go down instead as we see the rest of the team. Hardstuck Silver back away into the jungle.
Or Hardstuck Silver. I mean, they're doing everything they can. They're busting out all the tricks they have in their sleeves, but right now, Alpha Wolves are just diffing them on every level, and there's not a whole lot that they can do at this point, especially when you have the almighty Anubis just laser beam clearing you down, as well as the damage coming out. Samir has no chance going up against Solo or Throw, and the rest of Alpha Wolves is now Samir has been shut down, and the odds are looking even slimmer and slimmer for Hardstuck Silver.
Permilia, there's no grass there. I don't know that you know that they can see you. Gonna backflip right into the grasping hands, right into the Locust Swarm. And now they've been added to the swarm of bodies on the field. Here comes Solo or Throw just to try to throw hands for a little bit longer. Unfortunately, it seems like they've got boxing gloves on. Those body blows are just softened up, and Alpha Wolves are all too healthy for it. They retreat back to maybe look for this FG, but at this point, any tower they look at is theirs to claim.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, as now we see, oh man, there's no way you're going to be healing that one. Solo or Throw. 4 massive bodies of Alpha Wolves are going to be chasing him down past that tier 2 tower in the middle lane. We now see Noah's Gate coming out, maybe looking for a pull, but the CC immunity comes out from the Death Graze. Oh my god, the tier 2 tower is down, and they're going to be pushing even farther.
Phoenix is up for the count. At the very least, they got Face Tat back in. Samir as well, lurking around the corner, but Anubis is waiting for you on the other side of those doors. It's like the horror movie. Don't go in the basement. You don't want to see what's waiting for you. Doesn't seem like Anubis wants to wait around either. Decides to retreat back. Samir's a big threat. Neithel gonna be following up that assassination attempt, and there comes the shot from the rooftop sniper. Beautiful work. JFK is down. Looking for a man like Mo next. It's gonna be accomplished. Samir's back on top. Shut down. No. Turned back on. Vexation, unfortunately, can't quite say the same. Unstoppable here for the Mordred. Pursue the weak, finds 2 targets. Face Tack goes down. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. But I can kill it, says Solo or Throw. They shut them down before they fall to the grave themselves.
That is now 4 bodies down, 4 Hardstuck Silver. I don't know what this Permilia is going to be able to do to stop them from this big push. I don't think they go too much farther, but maybe they look for a Phoenix here. I mean, we still see both the Fenrir and the Susano sitting here around this left side Phoenix. They might be going for a push, but oh, don't overstep here, Permilia.
Oh no, it doesn't seem like you have a choice in the matter, because they are unchained and unbound, ungroundable. Little Cuba gets the rampage, taking them out. Ares around the corner. The last tick of flames to burn up that ostrich. Cook them up for dinner. Delicious. Now looking for some wolf skins once again. See if you can find the pelt, the agility. Closes that distance. Now little Cuba just going to do a little bit of a quick howl to the sky. Unfortunately, no members of your pack are there to hear it. And now taking back to the sky, gets juked out. That Jingwei's ankles just got broken, and the wolf will stay alive.
That is for now, at least, as we might see some type of comeback potential for Hardstuck Silver. Very slim, but my hopes are high. And, you know, they have to be. All we have is hope. All we have is faith. That's all that Hardstuck Silver has in their name. They don't have gold. They don't have kills. They don't have anything else but the dream, the vision, the prayer that they find a W here as they now go for the first Gold Fury that could potentially go to their pockets.
That's Ancient Fury, man. That ain't just any regular Fury. That could be huge. It shuts down all the structures and grants them a chance to get back in. It's going to be in their pockets. Not only does that grant them that huge buff, it can't go to the pockets here of the Alpha Wolves. Unfortunately, they're still looking none the cared for it. Here's a little laser show for you as Fenrir in the back takes a little chew toy for themselves. Assassinate have to be expended just to get Sirmir to safety. Not going to be enough. Little Cuba takes them down. No escape. They don't want to escape. They want to kill you, buddy. Fixation going to be breathed on for just a bit longer before they, too, take a tumble back to the fountain. Solo or Throw in the meantime going to be pursued to the ends of the earth. At the very least, that Neithel does buy them a bit of respite. Great job there by Permilia to save their teammate. Can they get them out of dodge, though, is still, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies all around you, my friend Shock. Could be in a bit of trouble as they find that torrent of TP back to safety. Unfortunately, that Typhoon is coming for you. The winds of change sweep him up, and the Rain God goes down.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and right now, Chalk is not raining. He's getting rained on by the rest of Alpha Wolves. I mean, they are just doing whatever they want with their opposition. We see there is a bit of a maybe split push opportunity from FaceTap, but Chubby Ostrich is now following up. I'm sorry, that's Menja now following up over there, looking to stop that push, and the rest of Alpha Wolves are going to be pushing for that Fire Giant. That is definitely going to give them the tools they need to finally put the final pin in this coffin.
Here comes a big Neath ult there from Pramilia all the way from downtown. Bang! Steph Curry or Neath, can't tell the difference. Great shot there to get that one kill off board, but unfortunately, at what cost? FG goes down the way of Alpha Wolves around the belts of 4 members. It's not on Menja, which feels good, but it's still quite threatening, which does not feel nice.
You got to think about it like this, though. This isn't just another kill for Hardstuck Silver. This is now one less member of Alpha Wolves with that Fire Giant buff. They're going to be doing a significantly lower amount of damage in the next team fight. I mean, the other 4 bodies that had the Fire Giant buff are going to be going a little bit crazier for sure. But that one member down might make a big difference going into this next team fight. Definitely, Hardstuck Silver are doing everything they can, holding all hopes as high as possible, praying to the gods. You know, they are gods after all, praying to themselves, making sure that we can find a W in one way or another. There is no stopping the resilience in Hardstuck Silver.
25 minutes here. 17-38. It's all looking the way of Alpha Wolves in terms of the stat lines. But the one thing that they have, hope. Hardstuck Silver have been through the rat race. They've been in silver for too long. And now we're going for gold. We're going for CERN. Horn Dash to get yourself to safety, but we're looking for the assassination attempt on a Chubby Ostrich. Typhoon might buy them a bit of space and safety. A few more arrows to the back will do the job. FaceTap's got to find it, and they do. Persistent Gust sweeps up the Susano. Little Cuba trying to escape back to safety. Here comes Mordred, pursue the weak, looking for that Jingwei. Doesn't quite find the mark. They're still in danger though. Storm calls Colin for that CERN. FaceTap goes down. Man like Mo back to answer. The carries have been wiped off. Vexation as well. Pramilia has to backflip to try to find a bit of respite and safety. It's not gonna work though. Fear instills that fear right in their heart. And unfortunately, Shock's gonna be sent to that exact same destination. That rain dance is gonna be the last boogie you do, my friend, at this rate. The grasping hands and the locust breath weep them off as well. Deicide here for the Alpha Wolves, but only 3 members remain standing.
Just when you think Hardstuck Silver had some type of fighting opportunity, Alpha Wolves go and shut them down, saying, this is our game, this is our house, and we are running it down.
They can just keep this one going. They are the Alpha Wolves, and leading the pack is the Fenrir, the ungroundable. Little Cuba's not looking so small and unmighty now. Loki's gonna try their best to put up another big defense. Gets Mencha once again. That guy just can't catch a break. Neither can Seemir, though. Hardstuck Silver respawn in with their renewed vigor. The dual lane's back in action, trying to fight back. FaceTap's launching some basics in the back here of the Fenrir, who turns back. I will not take this abuse from you, little girl. No escape, unfortunately. Not going to allow you that kill. It just might be Vexation, who now lays their life down for the claim. Every member here of Hardstuck Silver's got to focus just on keeping this Titan up alive. The minions are pouring in, and now the members are too. Pulled back in is Pramilia. Vexation's going to be next to go. Chubby Ostrich does get taken down, but fights him back a little chew toy. We're looking for Shock once again. He just spawned back. Leave him be. Mid Phoenix is going to keep the Jingwei safe for now. Unfortunately, can't say the same here for the puppy dog. Pursued into action, but you don't have the Phoenix to defend you this time. Open the doors quick, and on the other side, it's going to be a Mordred. A terrifying jump scare. The only thing you got to fear is fear itself. He finds the kill on FaceTap. You overextended, and now you're going to have to use that rapid reincarnation a lot quicker than you might want. Shock escapes. Loki's back up. Hardstuck Silver stays strong.
There's still 2 Phoenixes up, but we still see that Alpha Wolves are lurking. They're not going to stop here. I mean, we see the minions show up, and now that's going to be 2 Phoenixes down. Maybe they lurk around, they look for that tier 2 tower in the solo lane so they can be looking for a 3rd Phoenix, or maybe they're just going to run it down here. We see Chubby Ostrich, Menja, is on his way, looking to maybe finalize this push. I mean, they might want to end the game here. They've been in here far too long. Last game ended around 17 minutes, and now we're about to see 30 minutes. I don't think the Alpha Wolves want to be here any minute longer than they have to.
Nah, bro, they want to spend those $20 already. They already have plans for a nice steak dinner tonight. They already got reservations at Fogo de Chao. They got the booth picked out. All they gotta do is secure the dub. But at this point, Hardstuck Silver still have answers, still got fuel left in the tank. And a lot of that comes there from this physical damage combination. Surmir, Permilia, as well as FaceTat have been putting on clinics here as far as the offense goes. Menja, a bit too deep once again. Naughty, naughty, back to base for you.
Or Menja, you got to wait for the team. You might think you're a one-man army, but there's 4 more one-man armies right behind you. Why not group around and make 5 one-man armies? That could make a 5-man army. I think the maths, that's really what it takes. Do a little bit of math and then group up with your team. Alpha Wolves, not Alpha Wolf. It is Wolf with
True.
an S.
It's still spelled incorrectly, but it still is that plural form, so keep that in mind. And hopefully going to oblige by that fact. At least the Jackal God's down. But you still got to try to find farm where you can. Hardstuck Silver are obliging. It's about 30 minutes into this game. 22 to 47, dear God. And what is that, a 20,000 gold lead? Queen Nagasaga continues here for the Alpha Wolves. Grants them that potential to siege down this FG. Every time it spawns back up, it's a bit stronger. But also the buff it wraps around your waist is a bit stronger too. Menja's back up, which means it'd be 5 men who all receive it. Question is, can you get it? With Shock waiting around the corner. Lurking, trying to find their opening. Here comes the Storm Call! Can they do it? Unfortunately, no, as they flee the scene. Man like Mo grabs it, and the kill on the FaceTat was grabbed as well. Grab yourself a nice little chew toy. Drop it right down for the rest of the team to bite on top of. Sirmir tries to put up a fight, but unfortunately, it's not going to be too much for him. Vexation, the last one left in the back line, as Shock and Neath run back to their home base. 3 members down. 5 members of the Alpha Wolves with FG and 1 Titan to defend. I don't know if they can do it, but we're going to have to see them try. Permilia hip-hopping their way back to base, but I don't know what you're jumping to joy for. Here come the Alpha Wolves to knock once again. Little pig, let me in. Game 2 goes their way.
Just when you think that Hardstuck Silver maybe had a fighting chance, Alpha Wolf shuts them down again and again and again, coming right out of the gate from the start of the game all the way to the finish. Alpha Wolves putting on a dominant performance and running the competition. Alpha Wolves enjoying another W, and let me tell you, they deserve it. Shout out Chubby Ostrich, shout out Solo with Throw, shout out the rest of Alpha Wolves. Y'all deserve this W.
It was well done. Even when they were dropping kills, it didn't feel like the game was falling out of their control. And that's not to say that Hardstuck Silver were not making things go well for themselves. They were taking advantage of the times when Menja would step a bit too far out of base. They would oftentimes capitalize and grab themselves that kill. That being said, Sasano was a really large part of that comp's offensive end, and we were sometimes dedicating a bit too many resources there. So make sure you're not just seeing red, even though we are literally quite now just seeing red at the moment. Don't just see red when you see Susano out of position. Make sure you're still wise. Make sure you have restraint. And I think that harks back more to what we talked a bit about. It very well could just be how these players play. It could also be a little bit of tilt. You got to make sure you keep those mentals cool, calm, and collected to ensure you're not making any plays that are a bit more sloppy than you intend.
Sloppy might be the move. Maybe they're looking to fall with style. You know what I mean? Instead of falling with grace, they might be looking to put a little sauce on that protein. But for now, I think we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. If we're Hardstuck Silver, we're going to go back to the chalkboard. We're going to try and figure out a strategy. We're going to go and, do some thinking, do a lot of thinking. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what they do. I don't know what they change. I think they had better odds in the last one, considering they got later on in the game. Game 1 did end in a very rapid pace, but Game 2 lasted almost 10 minutes longer. So it makes me think that whatever they were onto going into Game 2, maybe it just needs a repeat. Maybe it just needs a little bit of tweaking. Hit the playbooks and let's change a couple things. Let's have this receiver run this route instead. And then maybe they go a little bit harder into Game 3. That being said, I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out.
I think solo or throw, honestly, is what's going to need a bit of tweaks. And it's not like they're playing poorly. Actually, quite the opposite. I think they had some really good plays. They almost got that FGs needed to come in a bit later. Just play with a bit more conservation. And like you said, maybe have that Loki come in to bail you out and back you up just a little bit. Only one way to find out, though, how it's all going to go down. Game 3, potential match point here of this money show match coming at you in just a bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome on back to Amaterasu's presence here. Show match between Hardstuck Silver down 2 versus the Alpha Wolves. Ow, ow! Well, I'm D-Lo, joined here by Cash Money Morty. We got Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky. We got you, loyal viewer, watching it all. Mort, how we feeling?
I mean, wow. Talk about incredible matches from the Alpha Wolves, game 1 and game 2. Just dominant, oppressive, constant, down their throat, foot on the gas pedal gameplay from start to finish. Alpha Wolves were hitting it hard, hitting it fast, and doing everything they needed to do to find a victory in both games. I think Hardstuck Silver. I don't want to rule them out yet. They're making a couple moves. They are swapping some players and doing what they need to do in order to find a W. As we see the Susano locked in, and I think that's a step in the right direction for Hardstuck Silver.
Samir is now moving into mid. Samir was a very good player in both these games. Samir now has a bit more carry potential potentially if they're not on that Loki, which has a bit of a harder time during that late game, of course. You can't really get off those pentakills. You know who certainly can? Ymir. Fantastic.
Ooh.
Alpha Wolves locked that one in.
I like that one. I like that one for sure. Now setting him up with hard CC. Think about what Chubby Ostrich, think about what Menja were able to do, with that 3 second, 2.5 second stun, whatever it is, from Ymir in the past. And they're going to continue to be able to do so with that constant form of CC. Ymir with that reliable stun, as well as now we see another stun from the Fenrir and the pick up and go. Fenrir and Ymir, 2 massive picks going into this.
There's a lot of good CC, a lot of good team fight ability. It's very much we get this one target who's very obviously isolated either because they're encased in ice or because they're encased in the jaws of the big puppy dog, and we kill him. We kill him dead. So Hardstuck Silver now have to figure out a way to counter that. Maybe with some good counter engage, which in my eyes could be a nice little Ares again. I don't think the Ares has been too shabby, even though obviously it's struggled in moments because of that low mobility. You have Susano, who's one of the best catch-up gods, so having that Typhoon to follow up a nice no escape, it's a lot of good beads, burn ability. I'd be pretty happy with that.
I think what's interesting about Fenrir, I kind of expected Fenrir to maybe not fall off, but not be as present as he in this current Smite 2 meta that we're trying to formulate. This is still a brand new game that we're all talking about here. Jingwei locked in for Hardstuck Silver. I think it's interesting that Fenrir is doing better than he is, because, or at least that I anticipated. So we have this new item within Smite 2. This is an AoE purification beads. This is beads, but everybody around you. So you could be somewhat near Fenrir, picking up one of your backliners, and you say, whoop, active item, and then now your ultimate is done. So that really hurts Fenrir if that item is built up. I'm just hoping that maybe Vexation is able to find that at least earlier than the previous games.
Purification Talisman, what it's called, and it's incredibly potent. Like you said, these active items, the Fly Amanita as well, the Mushroom, it provides a lot of good sustain. And it comes off on a pretty cool, nice cooldown. It's like, what, 60 seconds or something like that? About a minute? You can really cast that even within lane if you get it early enough, and a lot of supports build that very early. Mordred, being picked relatively early here. That third pick there for Hardstuck Silver. Not going to let that go there to fear.
I wonder if maybe this is going to go to solo lane. Orange Mixer maybe trying to find some of that success that Solo or Throw had been finding with the Mordred in the solo lane. Maybe trying to replicate that and say, hey, if you can make it work, I can make it work. Something along those lines. That might be the case here. We are seeing the Bologna hover, which I'm kind of curious as to why. This is the first time we're seeing Bologna this entire I don't want to say set. Lists of show matches are bracket, this is the first time in the entire bracket that we've seen Bologna locked in here.
I mean, to be fair, against a Soul Jingwei comp, it can be really potent, but they don't even have that. And I think just in general, the God's been underperforming a little bit just because of the stat tweaks, but she does still have some great CC tools. She's got a really great way to close the distance with that Eagle's Rally and Disarm. And when Jingwei was causing so much havoc before on face stat, good way to shut it down. No more basic attacks for you, buddy. A nice little silence could also be a bit more of what they need, and it's going to certainly be supplied. Hades joins the Alpha Wolves.
Wow. For melees, well, I guess Hades is a range, but for, potential beef gods, I've seen the Hades support. I've seen the Hades solo with a little bit of beef underway. there's a lot of tankiness to be had here amongst Alpha Wolves. I can't help but wonder, are we going to see, you know, 4 big bruiser, beefy bad boys just running it down? Or are we going to see some glass cannons here, maybe with the Fenrir in the jungle, Bologna in the solo going for more attack speed than anything, Hades maybe going for life seal and intelligence? I think that there's a lot of, you know, big burst, easy team fight, wipe, or a lot of sustain over everything. I don't know. There's a lot to love about multiple build paths that are possible with Alpha Wolves.
4 big beefy boys sounds like a dream right now, and Alpha Wolves are trying to make it a reality. Hardstuck Silver going to answer it back with some beef of their own. Vegetarians, stay away from this game. Odin's in.
Golly, these are some interesting picks. Probably the Odin support. I think that Sexation is trying something new. We didn't see a whole lot of success with the Ares in game 1 and 2. Maybe just not Vexation's comfort god, if you will. Somebody I'm not familiar with. You know, I'm trying out new things for the sake of the team. I'm trying out these different things so we find success, but just so y'all know, not my best god. And because that was the case, or at least I'm assuming that was the case, I don't know. I'm not so sure if Odin might be the ticket to the puzzle.
I've not seen a Zeus game at all since we started casting Smite 2, and that's good. I was worried, Mort, that we'd see the same issue, where the magic damage they did have, because it still is, 4, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4 physical gods on their side. Zeus, though, certainly is going to give them reason to buy that protection, and if they don't, they might just get bopped for it.
This was my least favorite change from Smite 2 going into the weekends to this 24/7 alpha, was the fact that they took away the possibility of physical and magical damage from one god. Now they're locked to either physical power or magical, well, I guess not power, they can build strength and intelligence, but they're locked to dealing one type of damage, and because of that, it makes counter building incredibly easy, and Alpha Wolves really have their line, or their line of work just given to them here.
Yes, in that sense, they do have a bit less flexibility, but nonetheless, they still have Alpha Wolves needing to note that little bit of a asterisk, that little footnote that, hey, Zeus could be a threat. That being said, I have to imagine that's going to be piloted by Samir, and it's an awfully less mobile god than a Loki. So best be careful. You can't go invis. You no longer are going to be able to slip your way out of every fight. Thanatos is going to be the call for the Alpha Wolves here. The hovering death, like you said before, Money Mort, it's always looming. Death is always around that corner.
You know what's interesting here? No hunters, no carries here at all. There's no Jingwei, no Soul, no.
There's
Neith.
literally Jingwei.
What? No. I'm sorry. I should have specified on the side.
Oh,
There's literally a Jingwei right there. Wow. I guess I should have been a little more specific with my wording here. I'm looking at Alpha Wolves here. You should have been able to tell by the direction of my eyes on the screen.
You're right. My bad.
I'm just joking. Yeah, Alpha Wolves. I mean, no, I wonder what their team comp is. I think they're cooking up something crazy. That, or they're just looking to have some fun this game.
We're cooking up some ground beef here.
Meats.
Yes, we do. Get to find out if they can give us the same deliverance that Arby's promises. Game 3 coming at you right now. Welcome, everyone. Hardstuck Silver up against the Alpha Wolves. Amaterasu's presence, it's match point for this Cash Money Mort match. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Cash Money Mort himself, joined here by Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky, Mort. What change in plans as far as Hardstuck Silver's comp? What's their ideal fight going to be now that they've decided to go back to the drafting board and have really shooken things up?
Their ideal fight. Wait, hold on. Is that a jungle Ymir?
Oh,
no
dear God.
way.
That's the best. All right, Tess, I know, is certainly cheering for that one. And Ymir, look at him cheering. Ymir's happy too. He's like, yeah, you want more of this? Let's go. Hopefully you got that wall first level, because that's certainly going to be the best thing to facilitate this invade. Got to find out, though, the scariest thing, the biggest thing to fear, is fear itself, or maybe it's death, which is coming right now for the Mordred, forcing out that blink early. Your buff is no longer within your control.
I think you should take some notes, D'Lo. I definitely want to see you versify your role potential, but not have to take yourself away from your favorite god. I think this might be a good time for you to bust out the journal and take a couple of notes.
I'm writing. Let's find out how they do with this buff stealing first to find out. I'm not taking any notes. Look at that. Boo! Maybe you should have gotten that invade better there, Fear. Unfortunately, having to walk back, their head hung in shame. Ymir couldn't quite prove their mettle there. It does seem like it's actually not going to be a jungle Ymir after all, so take that, Mort. I don't need to diversify for anything. Ymir support all the way. The question is, what's this Fenrir doing? What's that dog doing?
Wait,
What is going on here? What is... All right, that's way better. Ymir, I told you he's got pent-up potential. That's the one carry you need in your games. Look at that freeze. Look at that glacial strike. Look at that missed basic attack.
Oh, come on. Don't call out the missed basic. He's trying his best here. I mean, come on. Ymir carry. He had to bust that one out of the deep pockets of the god pool here. There is no way that this is a common thing for this. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Nah, he went to look into the Delo sewer and bust that one out instead. Unfortunately, Thanatos might be busting out with a nice kill here. No, not quite. Gonna be able to stay alive. 1, 2, 3. We're counting 1 kill here in this dual lane. Ymir, come on! Get that basic, buddy! Yeah, we're not missing him anymore. Get the double kill, in fact. Let's get it! Glacial strike! Boom! Fear takes him down! Strikes fear in the hearts of anyone who tries to stand against the Ymir.
Holy shit.
Hey, family-friendly cast here as the deaths keep on coming. 1, 2, 3, added to the body count here. Thanatos looking for more, but little Cubus has enough bloodshed for one day. Retreats back to their tower.
Oh my God! Talk about a way to start a game. I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat here. As far as I might be able to go without scooting off of the chair, without falling to the floor. Oh my God, that is one hell of a way to start a game. Shout out Alpha Wolves in any situation, finding the way to dominate, to apply pressure, and to win these situations one after another.
We're gonna try to win this fight here in the jungle. Vermilia now moonlighting as the carry, trying to get some basics off on their opposition, but Menja eating them for breakfast. Look at these hammer swings. Home Depot would be proud. Unfortunately, going to sacrifice their life for the claim. It's Bologna for Odin, as well as Permilia staying safe, staying alive, but now having a 1v2 against that fearsome Ymir carry. Not a role that I envy.
Look, I want to see you do this, Dilo. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to see you do this now. I'm trying to see you play Ymir in every role, and I think this might be the ticket to doing so. Is just copying down the gameplay you see here.
History repeats itself, Mort. We've said it before, and we're seeing it in action here, and I certainly would love to try to recreate a little bit of this historic moment on the field of battle so far. 3 minutes. Game pace in comparison to Game 2 has sped up immensely. In Game 1, this is nothing. This is peanuts, but nonetheless, 2 kills to 4. Alpha Wolves taking the favor for it, and the big wolf himself, Little Cuba, can be or sorry, not Little Cuba. That's good. I got confused from the last game. Man like Mo, diving in deep, grab some nice jungle for themselves, slowly starving out Sasano. Little Cuba eating good, takes that kill on a 1, 2, 3 once again. Thanatos is killing it here in the solo.
You got to be careful if you're Orange Mixer. You have to be very careful going up against Thanatos because it might seem a little easy for you considering that, oh yeah, Thanatos' abilities cost his health. I mean, this is going to be easy to out-sustain, but you have to keep in mind that Scythe does a whole lot of healing if you're not careful.
Surmir could be in trouble as well, but that Zeus does a whole lot of damage if you're not careful. Stepping up, trying to find that last basic. Now might be a bit out of position themselves. Bologna's looking for you. Best not back in a position that's too out for your own good. They're going to be able to get back to safety. Here comes the bird bomb, falls on the Ymir, but the rocket jump. And of course, Ymir carrier support is going to be able to get away because that guy's just too smooth with the Samir, unfortunately, having to find some jukes of their own, taken out, but at the very least, the tower completes the job. Menja trades their life.
Very close, but no cigar. I almost thought that they were going to walk away with it, but turns out it's not going to be the case. Zeus is going to take one to the afterlife with him. Tubby Asher is going to grab the life of Facetad right off of the earth, as well as we see a kill from Permilli over in the duo lane.
Fear does go down, unfortunately. You hate to see it as a true blue Ymir fan. That's A-okay, though. They're going to get back up just fine. Now Little Cuba, under a bit of pressure from themselves. You've got to admire the gumption here of Orange Mixer, just stepping up no matter what the level count reads, no matter how many kills are put up against them. They really don't allow the mentals to get to them. They always are fighting with some aggression and moxie as if it is their last game, and in this case, it is. They've got to make sure they're stepping up. Get that Warhorn back in your favor, buddy. You're going to need it for the future.
We might see a crazy ultimate here. Maybe being able to connect with INHOUSE, able to do a little ring around the Rosie move there. Not really suspecting that one, but Face Tat lurking around the corner. Gonna take Low Cuba off of the map. Shout out to the lack of warding. Face Tat able to do as he pleases throughout the jungle.
We all fall down. Gonna be looking for Pamelia next here in this left side. Odin being chased back by the Fenrir. Will they be able to get back alive in the first place, or will they be able to join forces with Pamelia? They indeed do, thanks to that lunge over the wall. Fenrir, not quite pleased with that. Gonna try to find another target to take their aggressions out on. 6 minutes now, 5 to 8. Hey, Hardstuck Silver, keeping themselves in this game. That being said, Alpha Wolves have a very unconventional comp, which means Hardstuck Silver have got to find some unconventional ways to deal with it. Just looking at what roles are being occupied by which gods here, Mort. Might have to wait for that question. Surmir under some pressure there. Wins Siphon, gets that pressure right back off. So returning back to the fact. With these gods in such unconventional roles, what do you think Alpha Wolves have as their strengths and weaknesses in these fights? Might not be even granted that chance to find out. Pamelia takes down Menja, and unfortunately Ymir, showing maybe the disadvantages right now because you got no way to get back out of that fight, and Fear goes down to the double.
I think that maybe Alpha Wolves are feeling a little too confident going into this. I think right now they're definitely underestimating their opponents, and right now Hardstuck Silver maybe looking to even the odds as Face Tat catching out this unsuspecting Fenrir. Man like Mo is going to have to run for his life, but Jing Wei and the rest of Hardstuck Silver are going to be chasing hard here. Shout out to Speedbuff, maybe getting him out of harm's way. The Brutalize as well, helping him create a little bit of distance, but Face Tat is not giving up this easily. Tempest showing up, and Face Tat's going to knock him down. Man like Mo is going to fall to Face Tat. Hardstuck Silver evening out the odds with 8 kills to 8 kills here at 7 minutes in.
We'll take it. That's really good for them. That is really, really good for them. And that assuages not only some of the gold, that was your deficit, but also the mentals too, which, like we said before, is very important. We're seeing just so much interesting rotation ability here from the Alpha Wolves. They really just amble wherever they so please. At this point, you have Fear just stuck by himself here up against the Jing Wei. Obviously, that range differential is going to be a bit difficult, but they're still performing quite well for it. Samir trying to put on that performance we saw from Game 2, unfortunately just not allowed thanks to all the pressure from this Hades. Drops down the Lightning Storm just to get their Odin a bit of safety, and retreats back to base with a bit of health in tow.
Pillar of Agony almost took the life right there, but it did not work out 100%. That's the thing about Hades' ult, is that it does a lot of damage, but it does, slow damage, overtime damage. Meanwhile, there's a lot of damage to be had over in the middle lane as man like Mo is going to grab a kill on the unsuspecting member of Hardstuck Silver, Sexation.
Vexation takes a tumble. Face Tat might be the one to follow as they stumble their way back to that tier 1. Good jukes there on the Unchained. The Jetstream ensures that they get out safe. Don't go back in, you're crazy! Puts up a Typhoon just to watch the winds fly. Alpha Wolves gonna stay safe, but Hardstuck Silver don't lose anyone either.
Not too mad about this one. I think Hardstuck Silver really have some good odds going into this. It might not seem like every fight's going in their favor, but they're definitely doing the best that we've seen out of Hardstuck Silver in the past 3 games. Take a look at Solo to Fear, maybe looking to start a fight here.
1v2. Don't know if you got quite the reach for it. There's that Heart Slash. Just not enough. You get a bit more health for your tables, but Bologna's quite able to just escape out. There comes the Cruel Slash. Takes down Menja. Double kill there. Count them. 1-2. Unfortunately, not 3 quite just yet, but hey, we got time left in this game. We got 10 kills for Hardstuck Silver.
Elo, for the first time in what seems to be about 2.5 hours, we see Hardstuck Silver having more kills than Alpha Wolves. Oh my God. This might be it. I mean, I hate to, put all my eggs in one basket before they even hatch. Maybe that basket ends up all over the floor with spilt eggs, but I don't know. Things are looking good. I might be eating my words here as Chupiatra is going to grab a kill on Samir, but we see the ganking Face Tat maybe grabbing a kill of his own. Eye for an eye is what we like to say.
Keeps their kill lead up by 1, so not too shabby for you. Samir's been having a hard time. And it's what we talked about at the desk. You're no longer a Loki. You're not liable to use that assassinate to just quickly back out of a fight. Neither can Ymir. That rocket jump, though, gonna be a bit of a nice tool there. Smacks the Jing Wei's face up against it. Haven't committed that agility. They could be in a bit of trouble when the Fenrir rotates. Bologna's also trying to get there with the quickness. They're only gonna arrive to find puddles of water underneath their tier 1 tower as Fear goes down. Low health bars there in Vexation, but no one quite wants to step up to the challenge. Hardstuck Silver continuing to try to mount this slow kill lead.
I think that right now Hardstuck Silver maybe looking to dive deep here. Take a look at this.
A bit more damage here on the Bologna. Could be a bit of trouble as for Vexation as they try to retreat backstage, right? But they have to amble through some dangerous characters, much like this Fenrir, who grabs himself a little chew toy. The Jingwei might not be the right target, though. Eagles Rally, certainly placed on the right one. Vexation, that Raven Shout gives him a bit more health. Not enough. Chubby Ostrich takes him away. And now trying to flee the scene. Alpha Wolves sounding the horn for retreat, but then just as quickly deciding to dive right back in. We've got our eyes for Face Tat. That Jetstream gives him a bit more distance, but the Unchained closes it just as quickly. Still going to be enough, though. Susano gets out of dodge.
Get out of Dodge. Maybe you take your way to the next Ford dealership and grab yourself a reliable American vehicle that will take you where you need to go. This is not an advertisement. This is just a mere suggestion. As I mean, right now, Hardstuck Silver, you need to do everything you can to ensure this W. Kills are up and things look good for now, but this Gold Fury might be going to the hands of Alpha Wolves, especially considering that there are no members of Hardstuck Silver looking to try and steal this.
Gold Fury allowing you some easy financial relief, just like a nice Ford F-150. Cheap, reliable, American-made, not sponsorship whatsoever. But that being said, 11 minutes here. 12 to 11. In favor of Hardstuck Silver. That might be changing in just a second. 2 nice and easy kills waiting for you on the left side. The airstrike. Bah, bah, bah. The vehicle Mount 1 instead is actually a Raptor jet. As Permilia takes to the skies, lands back with 2 kills. I mean, gets you to your destination nice and quick, Mort. You can't complain about that.
That's for sure. I mean, definitely, I want to go where I need to go, and I want to enjoy it. I want to ride in style. And right now, it looks like Hardstuck Silver, they're definitely riding in style. They're definitely feeling themselves and enjoying this game. Because right now, they have 14 kills to Alpha Wolf's 11. That is 3 kills up, and I cannot believe I'm saying those words, as the first 2 games did not show any type of comeback potential hardly for Hardstuck Silver. Nothing but a dream, nothing but a little bit of hope, and that hope is definitely paid off as Hardstuck Silver are looking to dominate this game.
They're riding in style. Before in games 1 and 2, looked like they're in spirit economy. Now we're in business class. Feeling good. Got those nice peanuts. Got the meals. You know, airplane food, honestly, not too shabby. And Hardstuck Silver are eating what scraps they can. Alpha Wolves trying to find some food in the mid lane here. Might just be rewarded a nice tasty kill on Surmir. Unfortunately, just not been able to find their footing with this Zeus, and it seems that Alpha Wolves recognize that. They're looking for the gazelle with the limp, and they're tearing him to pieces.
I don't know how many limps I see. I mean, I don't really see, I don't think I see any limping gazelles. I don't see any limping anybody. I think right now we see 10 confident players. Maybe somebody, maybe some are feeling a little handicapped or, you know, maybe weighed down by some type of mental. But right now, I mean, I just see 10 strong players who are going to go at each other.
I see a dead Menja. Killing spree there for 1, 2, 3. Orange Mixer starting to mix up what we've seen prior. They are tired of all the damage that's been dropped on their head tops, all the ganks, and finally Susano ambles to their side of the lane to grant them that same love that their opponents have been getting. Hardstuck Silver just need to translate this further into more. Alpha Wolves were the ones who got that Fury despite being on the bottom end of kill advantage, so let's see if we get some more kills for it and then hopefully expand the dividends. Ice Shards drop. Typhoon swims him up. Rocket Jump gets them back to safety. Gungears might get you a nice stun. Ymir goes back in. Cannon event approaching as the Allfather takes on their dad. One more basic will do it. They fall within the cage. Permilia takes the kill away. Fenrir tries to take him out back to the Thanatos. Gets himself a nice little chew toy. Fetches it back for the owner, who throws it back in a fountain. Permilia goes down. Nice shutdown there by little Cuba. But what can you do now with it? Chubby Ostrich takes down Samir once again for the solo mid-kill. Brutalized to try to find the last vestiges of damage on a face tat. They do! Put down on a poster as another shutdown comes here for the Alpha Wolves. They're biting back.
Wow, talk about comeback potential. Maybe Vexation trying to stop it back here. The action might not stop. We might see 2 low health members of Alpha Wolves, but I think they're going to be willing to charge in regardless. Take a look as the shield comes out. It's Vexation lurking in the shadows, trying to jump out of the bush, but Fenrir anticipating the jump. I've got to jump of my own. I'm going to lunge onto my opponent here. Here comes the floating death from the Thanatos, and before Vexation grabs a kill on Lil Cuba, or Lil Cuba's going to grab a kill on Vexation.
1-for-1 trade here. Might be seeing the same story here in the solo. A duel of swords, a dance of dragons, and the blades will end up falling to their sides as 1, 2, 3 tries to count his chickens before they hatch and retreats back before the fighting gets too hairy. Hardstuck Silver, 15 minutes in. Still stand up on the kill, 17 to 16. Gold can't say the same, thanks to that one objective going Alpha Wolf's way, about 1,000 their way. Queen Naga Saga begins as it spawns in, but no one really quite wants to pay attention to it yet. Surmir certainly doesn't. He just wants to stay under that tower and try to farm. 1 in 5 is unfortunate on the Zeus. What do you think this mid laner can do to just have a better time about their laning phase?
it takes the grouping potential. It takes having an Odin hug your butt and stun anybody who looks at you funny. Zeus is not somebody who can just leap out of harm's way, just like this Ymir is.
Trying his best at the very least, and unfortunately, not going to be really compensated too well for it. But now Permilia and Sasano find themselves facing up against some awfully scary targets. Little Cuba looming around, finds the silence. Unchained finds the back there of Permilia, takes to the skies, and lands back safely in the bushes. We're looking to find the snakes in the grass, though. So we're looking to cut the grass. We're looking to cut down this Fenrir to size, hamstring the puppy dog real quick. That certainly violates some sort of animal regulation law. Thanatos gets to the sky, manages to get back to safety before they actually were taken off the map. Results in no kills being dropped despite a lot of ultimates being expended. Hardstuck Silver and Alpha Wolves agree to call this one a draw.
Well, it might be a draw unless they go for this Gold Fury. Or maybe is this an Ancient Fury? Is this Gold Fury?
No, not quite yet. Two more.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Gold Fury being postured here. We see that now there's some lurking members of Alpha Wolves. They might be looking to start a fight here.
They're still going to commit to it. I got to respect Hardstuck Silver. They've got their eyes on the prize, and they're looking for the money in their pockets. Susano distracted them for long enough that Vermilion can sweep it away. Face Tat's not just a distraction. He's a threat. Takes down Menja with the quickness. Pursue the weak. Finds a target, and it's going to get some good damage down the Fenrir. Forces Alpha Wolves to retreat. No, they're actually on the aggression. Hardstuck Silver are the ones who don't want any more of this action. Changing their mind a bit. Permilia trying to assist out their their Mordred, slashing and hacking away. Vexation takes down man like Mo. And Alpha Wolves recognizing that, hey, this is a new team we got to go up against. Maybe we shouldn't stand against them unless you got a Ymir carry. Bonks him on the head 2 times. That's going to be the Odin dead. Face Tat, you guys stuck around for a bit too long. Face the power of the Ymir carry. One more bonk on the head will finish the job, but the persistent guts knocks him up. It doesn't matter. You should have put fear in your heart. Pramila still gets the kill from the grave, but nonetheless, Ymir carry all the way.
I'm thinking too, it's like I wish this was Ymir grabbing these kills, you know what I mean? I'm a little biased here. Like I want to see this insane pick just pop off, and we did see some good damage there for sure, but it did cost Ymir's life. Doesn't have the stickiness that other gods do. It doesn't have the dashes and everything else, the crowd control, you know what I mean? After that 3-second stun, it is nothing but a slow and a dream. So you know, it is what it is. I think that Fear is definitely doing what they need to do in order to get things done. But right now, Alpha Wolves are being checked. They are definitely not comfortable going into this, I would imagine.
Not at all. This game is up to anyone at this point. Alpha Wolves have got to make sure to respect their opponents a bit more. Uh-oh. Respect the skies, as Zeus might be taking a tumble back down to the ground. Drops Lightning Storm on their feet, gets little Cuba, but the kill is answered right back by Menja as Samir goes down. Now Bologna, 1v2ing, pursue the weak. Finds him on the back line, drops him right in the midst of the Typhoon into the Raven Shout Bird Bomb. Face Tat takes down Menja as well. 2 kills there. Drop for 1. Hardstuck Silver get the better of that trade and now can look for this Naga.
Oh my goodness, talk about how the tables can turn. Talk about how the turns can table. Hardstuck Silver doing what we never thought would be possible. I mean, I had hope. I had, you know, some type of faith here, but, you know, logistically speaking, I thought Hardstuck Silver was ruled out of the fight. But just when you begin to underestimate your opponents is when they start to shine the brightest. 5 stars of Hardstuck Silver dominating this game. Meanwhile, we do see Chubby Ostrich pushing in the middle lane, maybe trying to go past that tier 2 tower. Nope, just going to stop at the tier 1.
We'll take it. That's just fine for us. At this point here, Ymir might be expending a bit past their limits. That's okay. The rest of the team backs Hardstuck Silver now, dedicating some love to this right side, some TLC. And with Jingwei, of course, able to rotate so easily thanks to that rapid reincarnation, you can't quite blame them for it. Looking for this FG while Alpha Wolves are all spending time on this left side. That could cost them. Little Cube, we've got to imagine, is sounding the alarm. And you can see Alpha Wolves are starting to try to follow their pack leader into battle. Will they be able to arrive in time for the scene, though? Sunders are online here for Vexation. They're going to use it quick, though, because the Fire Giant is dropping low. Vexation does grab it for the team. And Fender tries to grab a nice kill for them. The cage is dropped. Chubby Ostrich might be next. Indeed, they will. Permilia takes that kill away. Thanatos could be in trouble next, already having used that hovering death, and now death is exactly what they will experience, thanks to Face Tat once again. Here comes a big leap there from Menja, but it's not going to be enough off the Eagles rally. Instead, you can rally in the afterlife with the rest of your buddies. 3 corpses on the field, 5 members with Fire Giant. Hardstuck Silver are looking for the reverse sweep.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this could happen. This is reality. This isn't a prayer. This isn't hope. This isn't faith. This isn't some type of wild conspiracy theory. This is real. These are results that we're seeing before our eyes. Hardstuck Silver did exactly what they said. They were going to hit the drawing board. They were going to talk up some new strategies. They were going to figure something out, and look at this. They are pushing down the middle lane. Tier 1 tower is just falling, and Tier 2 is going to be next. We can see Fenrir's kind of hanging around here, maybe trying to defend this tower, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do anything.
Not the best chances for you, buddy. Unchained to get back to safety, but Tier 2 does crumble. At the very least here, Alpha Wolves recognizing that no Ancient Fury up, so that means we don't have to worry about that quite just yet. Hardstuck Silver, though they've been doing well in these fights, it's been even neutral ground. Alpha Wolves on underneath the Phoenix is going to be a whole different story. Gold Fury here, going to be picked up by Hardstuck Silver. Alpha Wolves distracted by the rest of the team that's zoning. A 3-man barricade put up. But is that going to be enough to stand up against their forces? Fear says absolutely not. Fear the Ymir. Vermilia takes down that Fury, but will you rejoin the fight a bit too late, only to find your corpses of your friends on the field? Samir goes down. Vexation finds a kill at the very least on the little Cuba. The airstrike finds good damage, as well as Menja's trapped within the cage. The rest of Alpha Wolves can only watch as their friend the Bologna is torn into pieces. But here come the shards of ice charging. Fear goes down. Vermilia has conquered their worst nightmare, and now they're looking to conquer the Wolves entirely. Triple kill there for Vermilia. Deicide for Hardstuck Silver.
You know, if they push these minions, if they operate correctly, the next body up is Locuba in just 10 seconds. They could quite possibly grab a Phoenix here. And if they take Locuba off the map, then the next body is going to be even longer than that. I don't think this is really end potential, but I definitely think this is a step in the right direction to make sure the Hardstuck Silver walk away with the beginning, so it could quite possibly be a reverse sweep.
Absolutely. Mid-Phoenix going to go down with the quickness thanks to this Jinwei basics. Little Cuba trying to put up some efforts to stop it. Not going to be enough, though. With these Tier 2 towers up, Hardstuck Silver have got to make sure to eliminate those before they have any chance of looking for more birds. That's A-okay. Hit that easy golden pocket here. 22 minutes. 31-23. Hardstuck Silver are ascending. They are no longer clay minions. They are no longer even silver. They are golden. Alpha Wolves have got to find a way to respond to that pressure, and it might just be chasing down the remaining members. Look at them lurking in the jungle. They know that they're weak. They know that the Gazelle is limping back home to the rest of its pack. It seems that they'll get across the river and back to safety for now.
I don't think these are limping gazelles. I mean, take a look at the kills on the board. We're sitting at 23 minutes, and Alpha Wolves have 23 compared to the 31 from Hardstuck Silver. There is no limping to be done if you're a member of Hardstuck Silver. You are walking. You are, just stomping. You are prideful of what you're accomplishing right now. Your head is high, your chin is up, and you are very, very accomplished going into this. Take a look as they're going to grab another kill on Menja.
Menja's got a bit of a habit of going a bit too far for their own good. Luckily, Eagles rally. Not a tool that Anubis has, certainly one that a Bologna can use to get out of a sticky situation, will allow them that space. Now, just trying to bide their time. Mid-Phoenix is down. Titan's still at full. Hardstuck Silver got to pull off an awfully good fight to ensure that they can actually end from here. And with no FG buff around their waist, it's not looking too likely. So then what in that case is Hardstuck Silver's best way to end this game decisively, other than just waiting for FG? How do they make this next fight a victory?
I'm not so sure. I don't really know what Alpha Wolves can do. I think this kind of goes down to the draft. I think they need to set up Ymir. I think they need to set up some type of Pillar of Agony and then follow it up by a Ragnarok. Let Ragnarok hold somebody still, and then Ymir just go to town on him.
And we're going to look to go to town on the freaking Hades instead. Jesus, that damage is big. Typhoon big as well. Unfortunately, the Ragnarok going to follow it right up. Lightning Storm dropped down on top of the Fender. He's going to try to brutalize their way out. Face Tat takes down man like Mo. First kill already dropped. We might not even need the FG. Instead, it's going to be everyone trying to pursue, but Hardstuck Silver have a bit of a targeting issue. Not sure who to pursue. They're going to look for that tier 2 instead. They left behind Vermilia, though, and the Ymir's coming to bonk him one. Fortunately, going to be able to escape back to safety, but the wall stops him, and little Cuba hovers for the death. 1, 2, 3 goes down. The shutdown is crazy as little Cuba finds the double kill. Vexation followed it up, and Samir is for the triple on little Cuba. Death is around the corner at any moment, and Hardstuck Silver have found out the hard way.
Wait, this is Vexation down for 30 minutes. I wonder what they're going to try and push here. Maybe they walk towards that middle lane tier 2 tower. Maybe they push even farther. Maybe they're walking up to this fire giant's not up, is it? I mean, Oh, it is. It is wide awake. I mean, it's ready to go. Fire Giant waiting on Alpha Wolves to go over there and reap their reward. Nobody's able to contest. I mean, this is going to be completely for free after winning such a huge fight, and the comeback opportunity is now here for Alpha Wolves. They realized that they slept on their competition, and they opened their eyes. They said, we're wide awake, and we're ready to fight. Adrenaline pumping fresh out of the bed. I think the Alpha Wolves might try and come back from this and then continue to sweep the competition.
Alpha Wolves maybe just saying, game's over now. We're taking it seriously again. Hardstuck Silver, I do think, just overextended a bit. They got excited. They saw Chubby Ostrich was weak, and they tried to finish the job. They left behind Premilia, who took a ton of damage around that tier 2. You've got to make sure that you're not getting tunnel vision. Fortunately, we're all focused instead on this Ancient Fury. Might be Vex getting in a bit of trouble. Certainly a vexing situation. Fenrir clatters against that Odin Cage wall. Ancient Fury going to be released once again, but Vexation is looking low. Might be released from the Mortal Coil soon. Ymir, first one to the scene. Coming from stage right is Mordred as the Ancient Fury is picked back up. Vexation can no longer be part of this fight. Deciding to back? No. They realize that there's far too much at stake here. Alpha Wolves, recognizing and respecting the space Hardstuck Silver have, decide to back off the Fury once again.
I don't know. I don't know if Hardstuck Silver are. I don't know if they should be as confident as they are going into this matchup. I mean, Alpha Wolves, they're back. They're ready to go. They are looking to fight, and they are, even though they're down on gold, they're confident, saying, "Hey, we can win. We're going to take you right here, right now. So don't sleep on us. Not here, not now."
26 minutes, 32-28. Hardstuck Silver still retaining that lead. Gold, damn near dead even. Ymir is trying to change that. Some decent Glacial Strike damage there, just to remind Samir the power of the God of Ice. Now we're just fighting over Oracles instead. Far less worthy prize. How about a Thanatos? That's a nicer one for you. Not going to quite finish the kill before Little Q was able to back out unless the Pursue of the Weak finds you through the wall. Oh yeah! Kool-Aid Man comes bursting through. Premilia bursts him apart. Shut down on a Little Cuba. Here comes the Raven's Shout, but nothing to quite follow it up. Hardstuck Silver now at liberty to try to begin their onslaught, but instead they decide for safety, looking for this Queen Naga to continue the saga and maybe look for the Ancient Fury right afterwards. We got 39 seconds before Thanatos is back up. Let's see if we can try to grab it. Fenrir lurking around the corner. Ymir on the prowl as well. Bologna not even part of the situation, and that could cost you. Let's see if they're able to finish the job. Ancient Fury goes down here the way of Hardstuck Silver. They continue the onslaught now, recognizing time's on their side, and the structures are no longer on theirs.
This might be a very interesting situation here for Alpha Wolves. They might catch themselves in a rougher situation than they have in the past couple hours. Game 3, you know, we thought we were just going to see another sweep. They thought this was just going to be a complete dominant opponent, but oh my God, they're going to get wiped.
Permilla's in trouble there from that Hades, as well as the Fenrir ults drop down, but the airstrike gets him back to safety. Phoenix is underneath some burn abuse, but that staff slam! Your soul's been devoured! Instant triple kill! Quadra kill! Chubby Ostrich is looking for the final bit! Feed the beast! Give them the last bit! Vexation can do nothing about it! Pentakill for Chubby Ostrich! The Alpha Wolves are eating good!
Oh my God. Pentakill, the first that I've seen in quite some time, especially in SMITE 2. We now see Alpha Wolves potentially running it down here. They might be looking to just end this. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. Take a look, 5 dead gods. I mean, who is going to stop them? Maybe a silly tower or a Phoenix? I don't think anything stops Alpha Wolves. They're going to be ending it right here, right now.
They thought they had it. Hardstuck Silver thought they could ascend. The Alpha Wolves quickly reminded them who's on top of the food chain. The Apex Predators now looking to try to finish off this Phoenix. Unfortunately, though, with all 5 members soon to crop up, they can't quite finish the job. Hardstuck Silver back with a vengeance to try to put them in their place. This is a battle of the Titans. Both teams not giving an inch. It's going to take another few pentakills for us to finish the game.
That is crazy. Just when you think you're at one end of the football field, I mean, you just go down 100 yards and you're at the other end. Alpha Wolves and Hardstuck Silver going back and forth, and you never know where this is going to go. This is competition. This is fight. This is exactly what we wanted to see tonight, and we are getting it. Eagles rally to escape, but I don't think that's where things are going to end off.
They're just going to continue this push on. Hardstuck Silver not happy about how that last fight went for them. First kill going to look to be dropped here on top of the Bologna. Trapped in the cage. Nothing you can do about it this time, Chubby. Watch and cower in terror. You're next. Face Tat takes them off the map. Now might be overextending a bit too much though, buddy. Ride that jet stream back to safety. Finds a wall waiting in their path and a hovering death back home. It's not gonna find the mark though. They stay alive. Premilia says, Cuba, you can't say the same. Alpha Wolves have stumbled into the lion's den, and Hardstuck Silver are trying to remind them that, hey, we are still predators too. One member put off for the claim and Samir goes down, but man like Mo, man, he's dead. Only one left alive is Chubby Ostrich. Pent-up potential again, buddy. You just gotta make it happen a second time.
I'd love to see another Penta here, but 1v5, that sounds like a crazy situation. I don't think Hardstuck Silver are going to be pushing after that. I think they're just going to go straight to that Fire Giant, say, hey, let's increase our kill potential for the next fight, and then we'll run it down. You know, adding a couple more tools to the toolbox, maybe looking for a steal here. We see Chubby Ostrich lurking in the backside, maybe looking to jump in at the last second and try and secure this objective for their team, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen here.
He's trying to look for it, but just as soon has to dip out, recognizing this is not where I want to lay my life down. FG goes down the way of Hardstuck Silver. Now it's only around the belts of 4. Samir doesn't get to quite embrace its warmth. What can they do with it? Hardstuck Silver, still considering they have a Phoenix down, you still got to guard those Winyan waves. But they need to find an opening. A Warhorn, sure, why not? But we need a bit more than that.
I don't know what exactly that is. I mean, it could be another Ancient Fury. That could be the case for sure. It could be another Fire Giant. I mean, I don't know what else they're going to do other than maybe try and take out one more body, make sure there's nothing left in order to stop them from running it down and winning this game.
At this point, Premilia just trying to show their basic damage. Show, hey, I can do numbers too, buddy. You might want to back off. FG boosted Jingwei. Unfortunately, though, is going to be in a bit of trouble against the Chubby Ostrich. Soul snatched once again. Little Cuba takes the credit, but Chubby Ostrich finds the damage. And unfortunately, with Premilia down for a full minute, they thought they could take on the world. But now you're waiting for reincarnation once again. Ancient Fury goes down the way here for Alpha Wolves. Just ensures they can continue this pressure, even if Silver's got that buff.
I gotta be honest, if I'm Hardstuck Silver, that is the one god, that is the one friend I don't want to lose. I think that that definitely hurts their odds going into the next fight, and even the siege potential if they were to happen to win the next fight. They're gonna have to wait it out for Premilia. Thank God it's only 20 more seconds. I think they're gonna be just fine as Alpha Wolves are still looking to push down the lane here.
In that 20 seconds, your Phoenix comes back up. Not too shabby. We'll take it. But at this point, Fenrir, lurking around the corner, you do still have FG on face tap, so you don't quite want to go face-to-face with them quite just yet. 33 minutes. 38 to 35 kills. Dear God. Gold lead? Hey, in favor of Hardstuck Silver. We're just looking at their Roth IRA accounts right now. They're just investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point since they have all that leftover cheddar. But we're looking for that real cheddar, that sweet, sweet 20 bucks. The gold on the screen doesn't matter. It's the gold that's going to be in our pockets soon in our Venmo accounts. Hardstuck Silver are looking for that cheddar. And now, 1, 2, 3, looking for a fight. Up against a lot of members, though. Best be careful you're not separated from the rest of your squad. Menja might just be taking that exact same dive. Takes a good amount of poke for their troubles. Gonna be able to retreat back to safety. 5v5 in the jungle. No one quite wants to rumble just yet.
I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go down here. I have no idea how Alpha Wolves are going to continue this press. I mean, Hardstuck Silver definitely have their feet dug in saying, hey, we're not going to give up for no reason. We are fighting. We are doing everything we can in our power to ensure a W, as now we see a fight starting to begin in the middle lane.
Oh no, Fear's gonna be the first one to go down, but here comes the hovering death. Pursue the weak though. That man's Naruto running back to base. He's safe. Unfortunately, can't say the same there for Premilia. Once again, put down by that Ragnarok. Face tat makes little Cuba pay. Man like Mo as well. How dare you take down my Jingwei? Killing spree there for Susano as they continue the pressure. It's 1 for 3, but the one you lost is the one you couldn't afford.
I gotta be honest here. I'm a little wondering what Vexation's thinking right now. I mean, right now I see that purification item. Maybe it's not showing the cooldown, but I mean, all I can see is that you didn't use it, and you should have used it right there. That could have got your Jingwei out of a really rough position.
It might just be a spectator bug, but unfortunately right now, who's bugging? It's Menja. could be in a bit of an issue at the moment as they see the pressure of 3 members still going to be able to escape. Dude's got plot armor. Don't go forward. Go back. Please go back to your Phoenix. Chubby Ostrich, though, not going to go anywhere but forward. Samir taken down there by the Hades. They double dash their way back to safety. Little bit of a haha, he missed me. TV Meta gets taken out there. FaceTat remembers that they're still around. Maybe shouldn't have quite taunted them like that, but you're gonna have to pay the ultimate price for it. And now 2 members left, the magical threats, Hades and Ymir, to stand up against the forces on this right side. That Phoenix is looking awfully low. That Shards of Ice is gonna be able to destroy the minions and make sure that Vexation can't quite finish the job without some additional help. Don't you wish you had a Jingwei right now? It's a 4v3 here on this right side. Hardstuck Silver don't want to test their odds.
High hope for Hardstuck Silver. This is the underdog story that we talked about for hours on end throughout Game 1 and Game 2. Hardstuck Silver, you have to have something for us. And then this entire game, they've had one hell of a show for us to watch here in the booth. I mean, I am definitely proud if I'm a member of Hardstuck Silver. I am walking with my chin up. I am feeling myself for sure. I'm going straight to the bank and I'm laughing my way there. I think that Hardstuck Silver, they've got a good fight left in them. And all it takes is one good team fight and they can run it down and win the game. But that is the same to be said for Alpha Wolves. I mean, they could just catch one body off. They could catch Samir out yet again. They could catch Pramila. Next thing you know, who's going to stop you? Vexation, the tanky Odin that can just get melted by a couple members of Alpha Wolf? I don't know. Not exactly sure if that's going to be the case for a Hardstuck Silver. I think it's just all up in the air. You never know at a point like this.
I think we know what Alpha Wolves are looking for. Look at this. It's just a beautifully staged ambush. Guerrilla tactics as we wait to see if Hardstuck Silver will take the tantalizing bait. And you can see they're curious. They want that. They want that Arby's meat at the end of the hook. But unfortunately, they might find out whereas they got the meat, Alpha Wolves have got the beef with them. Ymir taunting them, saying, come, stay a while. Vexation opts to instead retreat back. Alpha Wolves are just waiting for anyone to stumble across their snares, to sink their teeth into their bellies.
I mean, that's a really smart strategy. Never know what could be lurking around the corner. We see Eagles Rally coming out from the Bologna, trying to make something happen over here by the enemy blue buff, but now we see the fight unfolding.
FaceTat takes down Little Cuba. The rep page is going to be allowing them to get back out with a jet stream as well. Evades the Ragnarok. This could be Hardstuck Silver's fight. Trapped in the cage, keep Pramila still alive, and that's who you need to stay up. Unfortunately, they sacrifice Orange Mixer. It's solo for solo, but can you keep the rest of the team up? They're looking for Pramila. They've got to back up with the quickness. Zeus, protect your Jingwei with the quick, please. The agility provides them some safety. The brutalize is not going to be enough. Man like Mo is down. Chubby Ostrich takes down Simir. Pramila goes back in. Ostrich, you're not going to get a penta this time, buddy. Double kill there for the Jingwei as they move on forward. It's only the Ymir that's here to stand against them.
This is your time, Ymir. This is where the ADC Ymir pays off. Yep. This is where you get to showcase all of your time, all of your building potential. Here it is, the fight we've been all waiting for.
It's prime time between Pramila and Fear. The basics are enough. You're crazy. And Pramila, you're dead. More damage for you. Drop your Typhoon. It matters not. I'm Crit Ymir and you will fear my name. One more freeze. No. FaceTat's unstoppable and crushes him to shards of ice.
I bet that hurts to say, doesn't it? Oh.
It does. It hurt to see too.
Oh my goodness. How you root for the underdog. Even though Alpha Wolves have won game 1 and 2, I see the Ymir ADC and all of my hope, all of my everything goes into this saying, feel yourself, channel your inner carry and just go crazy here. He did pick up 1 kill before he went to the afterlife, before he looked at a little bit of grayscale, but you know, that was so awesome. That was so cool. I can't even contain my excitement.
This is about to be a 40-minute game, Mark. Game 1 was 17 minutes. This is a lot of kills. 47 to 40. I'm gonna vomit. Hardstuck Silver just cannot find a way to break through. Alpha Wolves cannot find a way to break through. The iron wall, the ice wall. It's a wall either way. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
Well, let me tell you, I'm no physicist. I'm physicist. I am no scientist by any means. I am just mere SMITE caster. So not exactly sure what happens in a situation like that from a logistical standpoint. But I can see the Ragnarok is busted out, and this might be a bad fight for Hardstuck Silver.
Facetat and Jingwei just watching from the back to see their friend carried away, but unfortunately, man like Mo carried away instead from the wins, from the basics. Your puppy dog's been put down at the shelter. Hardstuck Silver now looking to try to finish the job with the rest. Susano opens the on-gauge, but here comes the Eagles rally to back them up. That's still a lot of basic damage you gotta suffer, my friend. Raven Shout gonna be providing you a bit of extra protection. And now the FG is gonna be looked at instead. Still 4 members here to stand up against them. This is nothing to be pleased at. They can absolutely look for steal potential, and Alpha Wolves have Ymir, their best tool to try to do it. Not gonna actually step up to the plate. Fire Giant, secured here by Hardstuck Silver, but what can they do with it?
They're just going to have to wait for Alpha Wolves to step out just a little bit. Maybe one member like Menja known to step out a little bit. You know, I think that they've definitely got some type of good situation going for them. Take a look as they try to push the right side Phoenix, and there is nobody in their way to stop that push.
I guess they just thought they were going mid. Ankles broken there on a macro level. Alpha Wolves managing to take down that bird without any issue whatsoever because, or sorry, Hardstuck Silver managing to take down that Phoenix without any issues because Alpha Wolves just didn't want to contest. Makes sense. FG around all 5 members, you can't quite blame them. But at the very least, they have all 5 members back up on their side too. 2 birds down, only the middle remaining, but you still can't go into that throne room just because the team fight from Alpha Wolves, their players' pedigree, is just too good. Mort, we've seen 41 minutes of team fights worth from these teams just in this game. What needs to change for Hardstuck Silver to finally push for that final fight that gets them the W?
Truthfully, I think that it's just going to take catching one body out, and Hardstuck Silver may be able to run it down, but Alpha Wolves do have everything on the line. I think that there's a lot to lose if you're Hardstuck Silver, but there's nothing real. I mean, there is something to lose. You lose one game that Hardstuck Silver are going to need 2 more to try and win the set with. But think about all that money on the line. I mean, that could take you all the way to Vegas. That could take you to the car dealership and get yourself a Lamborghini in your pocket. 20 whole freaking dollars. I think that this is definitely driving out the killer instincts in both teams. I mean, that's a lot of Skrilla to spread up against your teammates.
Absolutely. I mean, Ford paying for that pocket, paying for that game wallet. Got to imagine, of course, where you put on all the stops. Chubby Option's going to be doing the exact same thing, looking for more souls, looking to repeat their prior performance. Menja steals away the Penta potential, and Fear's life stolen by Facetat. But there's still damage to be had, and Permilia's going to be showing it on a Menja. That's 2 for 1 so far, but can they continue the aggression like so? Left side bird going to get taken down just as soon as it spawns from the ashes, which leaves the mid bird as the only one left remaining. It will fall as well, and now Hardstuck Silver, they feel emboldened, they feel empowered, they will step up to their oppressors into the throne room. Chubby's down, Little Cuba gets swept away, their divine double kill for Susano. Permilia takes down the man like Mo. Man, I wouldn't want to be him. Hardstuck Silver, come back and take game 3.
Look, if I'm Permilia right now, I'm looking up on YouTube how to do a money spread on my arm. I think that they could be going for the gold. They could be going for the big shebanga bangs. They could be going for the whole 20 bones. You just need to do that 2 more times. 2 more times, Hardstuck Silver, and you will go absolutely crazy.
Dear God. Dear God. We got a lot of stats to look at here. We have about almost 100 kills to look at here. Mort, what should I look at here?
I tell you what I'm seeing. I'm telling you what I'm taking a look at, what I am observing on screen. The biggest thing that draws my eye super quickly is the 21-8 from Permilia. I mean, Jingwei just proving to be one of the best carries in the game, combined with all of that crit, combined with all of the airstrikes that we saw, combined with the oppressive power backed by your team. Hardstuck Silver just came right out of the gate. It's almost like they took a play right out of Alpha Wolf's playbook. They said, hey, if they can do it, so can we. Right out of the gate. I mean, just oh my goodness. I cannot believe that our hope, our prayers, our comeback opportunity that rarely pays off, it has now paid off. Hardstuck Silver finding a win in game 3, which were words that I thought I would not be saying tonight.
Oh my god, that was just an absolute slugfest. Ymir was there. Ymir was here. Ymir is no
Oh.
longer here. Unfortunately, Fear really tried to put that build to work. You gotta respect the hell out of it. 8-13 is really impressive against a Jingwei performing as well as Permilia was. Unfortunately, I think the part that kept Hardstuck Silver a bit hard stuck for this victory was Samir on this pick, and we know that Samir is a very technically fine player, very well tuned. I just don't think the Zeus really fits with their play style. They like to be a bit more slippery. They like to be a bit more evasive. Maybe play Hekate. Why not? I know that she's been a bit maligned as far as competitive goes, but under the right pilot, she can do very, very well. I'm looking to see Samir underneath something a bit more mobile, something with a bit more trickery up its sleeves. That being said, get to find out if Hardstuck Silver got any more tricks up their sleeves to try to get this reverse sweep going. Don't you dare go anywhere after that game. We got more action coming for you in just a bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Amaterasu's presence here. Money, cash, match. Game 4. Alpha Wolves. Match point here versus Hardstuck Silver after an absolute barn burner of Game 3 we just saw. I'm D'Lo. Joined here by Cash Money Morty. Joined here by Teste, Almighty Eye in the Sky. Joined here by you, loyal viewers still watching. Appreciate you. Mort, how we feeling?
I'll tell you this. I'm feeling like $1 million. I feel like I'm on top of the world because we are finally seeing some life from Hardstuck Silver. What I thought was going to be a complete dominant performance from Alpha Wolves for 3 games in a row just for them to take home the bread, the big stack of bakery production. I think that Hardstuck Silver, they've got some life let in them. And this could be, I'm willing to rule this factor in. This could be that Alpha Wolves were feeling comfortable. They decided these guys really aren't all that. So we'll do some funny picks here. We'll go Thanatos solo. We'll go Ymir carry, and we could do whatever else we want to in order to, it's fun. It's a fun game. Let's just do fun Smite 2 stuff. Hardstuck Silver said, you know what? That money is ours. So just when Alpha Wolves finished watching that video on how to do a money spread on your arm, that's when Hardstuck Silver, they come back and they say, hey, we've got a few tricks up our sleeve. Take this, take that. And 40 minutes later, bada bing, bada boom. That's a W for Hardstuck Silver. So now we're sitting in game 4 after a long couple hours of competitive Smite. And Alpha Wolves have a lot to lose, and so do Hardstuck Silver. This is a lot of money we got on the line right here. So I think that they need to be very careful, and they need to play carefully, or they might not be able to pay rent next month.
That's $5 can go towards a lot of good causes, including, of course, keeping you in house and home. What better gods to do so than Sol and Mordred? Locked in here by Hardstuck Silver. Sasano on the side of Alpha Wolves, maybe alongside a Neath to take that tool away from Permilia if they dare try to take it again. That being said, you got to imagine that Sol's going to be going to Permilia instead. Neath not going to be allowed on the table, and that Jingwei ban certainly targeted as well towards Permilia, going to force him into an unfamiliar position. Hopefully, though, even without that agility and that airstrike, Permilia can still stay safe and positioned well because Sol's obviously doesn't quite have that same safety. Shock there for the Alpha Wolves. Going to be the next lock.
Well, I think that Sol actually does have a pretty decent amount of safety with that third. You've got a little bit of a movement speed buff. You've got CC immunity. You've got invulnerability for 3 whole seconds. If you time that correctly, if everything lines up how you want it to, then that is a massive ability. But timing is a big part of that. So if you don't time it correctly, then everything you've tried for, I don't want to say goes to waste, but doesn't really line up how you want it to. Your plan is going to fall apart. Next thing you know, you could be taken off the map and taking a look at a little bit of grace scale. We are seeing Fenrir locked in as the third god for Hardstuck Silver, followed by the Loki, and we again see 3 assassins on the field.
Oh boy, we're about to be in for another ringer, aren't we? It's going to be a lot of upfront personal combat here. I'm glad to see Loki make a return. I would not mind to see Loki mid. I would not mind to see Loki mid on Simmer whatsoever. I think that, you know what? You had a rough game on that Zeus. Go back to what's familiar. Go back to the warm, loving arms of something that's nice and comforting for you. It's that homemade chicken stew versus the crappy store-bought stuff out the can. And this right now is looking a lot more comforting.
I like this. I like this. This is looking pretty good. Hecate, somebody we have not seen on the field as of yet. I think that's another big pick. I like seeing the variety. I like seeing the different gods rotate in and out. I am tired of seeing Sol and Jingwei every game. I mean, good Lord. So, yes, we do see Hecate. I think that's going to be big for not just damage, but also displacement. That ultimate of being able to move a bunch of gods from this point to over here in a short amount of time, and then all of your friends follow up with abilities of their own, damage being thrown. Next thing you know, Hardstuck Silver have nothing that they can do, and they are going to lose this whole shebang-a-bang. Ymir being locked in, a massive pick here for Alpha Wolves, and I think they're going to take it. I think a lot of things are looking good for Alpha Wolves. Me and D'Lo, massive Ymir fans. I think this is...
I'm a huge Ymir fan, but I just don't want to see my boy done dirty like he was last game. So we're going to have to find out which role is he going to. I've got to imagine support this time. Wait, who knows? You know what? Shock support, Ymir carry. Very well could be the case. Here's the thing about Hecate. You're right. That ability to just put someone back from one point to point B very quickly is important, especially when it interlocks with the fact that you mentioned. Sol, Has that invulnerability with its Apparate. Takes about 3 seconds, though, to get to it. You know what's quicker than that? Open the gates. You drop that Hecate ultimate, Soul can't immune quickly enough to get out of it before she's already snapped back into your tower line, snapped back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Oop, there goes your carry. Kukulkan. Gonna be the hover here. First time we've seen that guy make even nary an appearance before as well. So maybe some snakes in the grass. Would love to see that one be locked in.
Well, there might be some snakes in the grass. You're absolutely right. And we're not talking about Medusa. We're talking about Kukulkan, who could be doing some very, very big things going into this matchup. We now see big things. We now see a fight to the objective secure with the Sunder, right? That is kind of known to be the the knowing solution to, oh yeah, I'll just walk in and Sunder. Kukulkan able to keep distance, send in that massive dragon saying, hey, I might be some type of dragon myself, but let me call my dad who does a lot more damage than I do, and just completely wipes away that fire giant. There is big potential for Hardstuck Silver to come back and win the second game required for them to win this whole ordeal. R3's Big Bash might be looking to go towards the hands of Hardstuck Silver if they play their cards correctly.
It's a really interesting point you bring up there of the fact that secure that's not coming from those relics, because that's where we've typically seen it. You got Shards of Ice, I guess. Not really the best tool for you. You got Supernova. Not really going to be used for it either. More so the Soul that's going to be burning it down rather than actually finishing the job on a Gold Fury. So having the Kukulkan is really nice. It's a really fair point. Ooh. Alpha Wolves, though, are very well known to just keep that dominance early game to not even allow Hardstuck Silver a chance to look at those objectives. So it's going to come down to these first 5 minutes, really, to see the pace. Are we going breakneck? Are we seeing 4-man invades with the Wolves snapping at your heels? Or are we seeing that pace slow down once again, giving Hardstuck Silver room to breathe?
We get to 5 as fast as we can. We milk cams. We do everything we can to try and get to 5 if we're Hardstuck Silver. Then Mordred charges in. He does his thing with the big move, and then he goes swipe you up into the air, and then Kukulkan doing his big move right there and just ramps over the competition like a massive stealth bomber. I think that there is a lot of potential from Hardstuck Silver, followed up by the Ragnarok, able to displace gods and maybe causing a bit of trouble for that Soul, for that Kukulkan. It could be the support Fenrir. I think that would be a massive pickup here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Vexation maybe looking to take a page out of Cuba's book and try something crazy here. That could be massive. Maybe a little bit of Mordred solo, or maybe even vice versa. Mordred support and Fenrir solo. You never know with Smite too.
I've got to think so. So now actually thinking about it, Kukulkan is actually going to be piloted by Samir on this mid. And that, I actually like that quite a bit better still than the Zeus, because it gives you at least that slipstream there to get yourself back to safety should you need it. The winds will aid you, and the winds of change are blowing, Mort. Gonna have to find out if they still favor our friends on Hardstuck Silver. Game 4 coming at you right now.
Woot woot.
We're here. Alpha Wolves, Hardstuck Silver. Match point of R3 Big Bash with the big dollars. $20 at stake here. I'm D'Lo. Joined here by Cash, Money, Mort. Joined here by Tess. Joined here by you, Mort. Early game dynamics. Which lane do you got your eye on?
I don't know. I don't know. We see the Neath lurking around here, and I see Hecate moving over. I can't tell if they're looking to play Invade, or maybe Hecate is going to be going to the duo lane. I would imagine otherwise, but take a look as Neath moving over to the right side. This could be a Neath mid and a Hecate duo. Chubby Ostrich might be looking to try something different here, and really it takes whatever you can think of to try and find W's here. Maybe looking to catch the enemies off guard. Neath's actually moving back over there. Okay, I think they're going to go for a big steal here.
Uh-oh. Watchdog. Could be in a bit of trouble. Watch as 3 members invade your jungle. Little Cuba and the rest of the friends trying to make a repeat of game 1, trying to run back that 17-minute heater. Alpha Wolves just keeping that aggression going, but Hardstuck Silver, they bite back now. They've tasted victory, and they don't want to go home with nothing in their pockets for it. Damage already. Drop down a little bit of poke here onto the Fenrir as well as a Soul. And it's, again, the battle of the level 1s. And you've got to imagine that a Neath and Ymir combination are going to have quite a bit of good damage for you, Soul. Meanwhile, not going to be able to say the same. Kukulkan not going to be able to even lay down those tornadoes very easily without that slow to keep them inside. Alpha Wolves, begin looking for these buffs. At the very least, you're still staking in place. thanks to that buff, keeping it locked in there. Little Cuba takes quite a bit of poke for their troubles, and the buff still goes down the way of Hardstuck Silver. Unfortunately, Vex gets in a bit too deep, could find themselves in trouble. Little Cuba taken down first, though. Permilia takes down Man Like Mo off the back for the nice soul double kill. Hot Bod, Hot Rod, keeping up these kills. And it's going to be a third one looking for Chubby Ostrich. One more back in the basic. Face Tat takes them off. 3 kills here for Hardstuck Silver to start it off.
I mean, I can't tell you I'm shocked, because if I'm a member of Alpha Wolves, I'm looking to charge in deep here. I'm looking to put my pedal to the metal. I'm looking to go as hard as I can, as quickly as I can, because I'm mad. After last game, I am certainly pissed. And I'd be even more mad if I saw FaceTat in my own jungle looking to take some of my camps here. Low Cuba and Man Like Mo are going to be chasing him down, maybe looking to find a kill here, but I think that speed buff is going to be very nice for the Man Like Mo. Cuba is going to be trying to chase him down, and now we see the reinforcements in the form of Vexation and the rest of the duo lane, and we're going to be backing off of that one. Smart move for sure.
Well, yeah, they still only level 1s. Like, you don't have a wall. There's no tools to catch you up other than that speed buff, and if Loki's got it, they're fine. They're home safe. 3 kills, they're dropped, and honestly, that's really freaking great for Hardstuck Silver, man. They fought back with aggression. They're no longer helpless. They know that their opponents are not immortal. The Alpha Wolves can be killed. They can be tamed. They can be domesticated and turned into cute little purse puppy dogs that you see on your Instagram feed. Now Hardstuck Silver, though, need to translate that into more. They can't just let that aggression go unmatched. They need to keep trying to expend their dividends and find a bit more. Maybe get some invades off on your own. Hoping to see it there. The Loki already got a bit of it. I want to see more.
I want to see more as well. I want to see a lot more. I might want to see 30 minutes more. We see Susano moving around on the backside here, trying to maybe set up a gank. Could be a quick stun from Low Cuba, setting up a little bit too early. Susano is now in the area. I think it's going to result in a good thing for Alpha Wolves. Setting up here, it looks like Low Cuba's trying to go for Vexation instead. Just takes a little bit of damage. Good slow. Cuba chasing him down here, and followed up by the damage from Menja. That is going to be a kill for Hardstuck Silver on the solo side, and another for Alpha Wolves on what we just saw.
1 for 1 there across the map. Alpha Wolves grab 1 here in the duo, but Hardstuck Silver add another to the coffers in the solo. Now Samir could be in a bit of trouble there. Ymir trying to step up against him. That Zephyr almost puts Menja back to the ground. Gonna be able to spare him for now. Kukulkan takes a little bit of traps here in the duo lane. Almost puts down little Cuba. The tornado on both. That's tragic. The winds of change are blowing, Mort. And it seems that Hardstuck Silver's sails are sailing ahead into this next game with gusto.
Gusto indeed, with a capital G-U-S-T, the Gust doing massive damage, grabbing a double kill. Hardstuck Silver are feeling themselves, and right now as Alpha Wolves, they've been checked for sure. Game 1 was a fluke, is what they'd like to say, but game 2, they're trying their butts off, and they're definitely feeling that in the mental. They're feeling, hey, I'm a little mad. I didn't want to lose that game. I wanted to sweep the set, but my ego has been checked, and I'm not feeling like the confident man that I should be. I think that Alpha Wolves, they got to rethink a little bit. They got to realize that they've got some real opponents on their hands. So, do what you got to do and try and figure it out here, because there's still a lot of game left to go.
Oh, no. Still a lot of room left to go as well. Unfortunately, that Pursue the Weak going to find a target when they really want to just find safety. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me. Eyes on that kill. Nice job there by Solo or Throw, as well as Sano. Just knocked that one back down. Now 2 kills on the board here for Alpha Wolves. Starting to answer back, but Hardstuck Silver have a response. Beads forced out there by the Loki. That's A-okay. We'll take down little Cuba. Slice down ourselves a nice little ice sculpture. And another kill dropped in the duo lane.
Oh my goodness, Hardstuck Silver. They're not letting up for anything. We're only 4 minutes in and we got almost 10 kills on the board. Oh my god.
Yippee. So much violence. It's so much violence. Can't we all just be friends? Unfortunately, it does not seem to be the case. Susano gonna eat some revenge there with the quickness. Chubby Ostrich tries to save him. Not gonna be obliged. Now in danger themselves. That repel magic, as well as the space they gained, will give them a bit of respite, but Loki's coming to pinch them off now. Assassinate off the back end, doesn't quite find the mark. Kukulkan, though, looking to bring down the Spare the Night Winds, calls their dad. He works for high res. Unfortunately, Chubby Ostrich is working against him. Looks to find that last bit of damage. Not going to be quite allowed. The Spell Eater doesn't find the mark. Little Cuba comes a bit too late to the scene. That means that no more kills dropped here in the mid.
At least for now. I'm sure there will be many, many more kills in the mid lane at a later time. But for now, we're going to go back to our little farming phase. And I can't help but, oh my God, Ragnarok right in the process. Good beats. That's definitely going to save the life of Chubby Ostrich right here. We see a little Cuba chasing him down. A Vexation's going to fall to the hands of Chubby Ostrich. Alpha Wolf's now looking to be domesticated anytime soon, and now going to be chasing for another kill. Massive Susano yoink, followed by the wall for the Ymir, and Solo Overthrow is going to be slain, or actually slaying the opposition. Hardstuck Silver getting checked, and that is rough to see.
Slayer or slay, the only thing that matters is slay. Alpha Wolves are starting to come back in big, 5-8. Gold lead still actually in their favor, despite the kills not being quite the same. That's good. That just shows that they got that superior macro play, that Hardstuck Silver maybe getting a bit too hard stuck on the KD ratios when they need to be focusing on farming up. Meanwhile, Fear showing that, getting some good damage on that tower, and if you could just keep up that map state deterioration, Hardstuck Silver are going to have no base to return back to. I'm liking this, though. The invades are coming online. Unfortunately, there's nothing too much to grab.
I'm a big fan of what Hardstuck Silver are going to be trying to pull off here. Not just the kill on this Chalk, which is definitely happening as they dive out of this tier 1 tower. Chalk's going to be fighting for his life and doing whatever he can to walk away from this, but Vexation and the rest of Hardstuck Silver are going to be chasing him down and making sure that he pays for all the mistakes he's made.
Here comes the rest of the cavalry, though, to try to bring them back in. The Kante ult will certainly do that. Samir pulled back in and brought back down. Killing spree there for the Kante. Chubby Ostrich making it work, getting the numbers going. Little Cuba and the rest of the gang trying to just clear up this minion wave here on the right side. Unfortunately, you got a Loki who's trying to stop you. Menja slashed in the back. Little Cuba can only sound the war horn, play taps, do for their fallen Susano as they try to keep this damage rolling. 7-10 now, as we look to see these dual lane scrappers. Let's see if they end up getting too much action. Do we anticipate many solo kills between the Neath and the Soul?
If I'm Neath, I'm playing back, I'm poking with abilities, and I'm capitalizing when I can. I think you're playing to cooldowns. You're trying to maximize your weaves and everything else you have in your disposal. Because if you try and check Soul, then this exactly is going to happen. Promelia is going to take you down. Man like Mo is going to fall to the hands of Hardstuck Silver, and that is Promelia on a killing spree, which might be shut down by Chubby Ostrich if they do not play their cards correctly, utilizing that third ability, and definitely going to be feeling a lot more safe. Hardstuck Silver going crazy right now.
Oh no, so is this puppy dog. He's rabid, he's insane. Someone give him his shots. Instead of gonna give him some shots of ice in the back, some basic attacks too. Little Cuba takes down Vexation with the quickness. Makes it 8-11 right afterwards. It seems like more, even though this map is like 30% wider, after every kill, there's just always 3 people waiting, knock, 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 to just counter it instantly. Let's see how this one goes. 1, 2, 3. All eyes on me. Fear does no longer wants to keep eyes on, instead decides to turn tail and run, retreating back to that solo lane. It's just been chaos all around, and we're seeing it once again. Face Tat gets put on a poster by man like Mo, just getting a bit too frisky for his own good, but that forces Alpha Wolves to try to retreat. That rocket jump gives him a bit of space and separation. Just pay attention to the Naga, please, not me. Little Cuba trying to back now.
Not gonna lie to you, it's games like this that make me think, wow, Test has a lot harder of a job than they should. I mean, there's just action everywhere, cutting here, cutting there. I mean, this is definitely gonna be hard to keep up with throughout phases of this game. We now see Fear maybe a little too fearful to dive under that tower, and I can't blame him. It's a little bit too early for that.
Nice ult there by Chubby Ostrich. That was certainly the right time for that, at the very least. And that's great anticipation, just showing the caliber of player. Fear, showing the caliber of player they are as well, timing that torrent beautifully with the end of the tower. But of course, when one kill's there, more is certain to follow. Loki and Fenrir starting to make the rotation over to try to counter that offensive. Shock trying to back, not gonna happen, my friend. Little Cuba trying to prevent Coco Alcon from doing the exact same thing. Fenrir putting on some damage. Face Tat gets that counter kill onto Fear in the right lane. Any time that someone's dead, you should really just take your hands off the keyboard as soon as you get a kill, because someone's probably coming to do the exact same thing to you.
Okay. Well, you don't want to fight back against him, so take your hands off the keyboard and let him kill you.
It's over. It's over. It's canon. You're gonna die. That seems to be the case every single time. I mean, look at it. 10-12. We're just in the 7th round of the boxing match at this point. Ymir, unfortunately, gonna be experiencing some heavy body blows and gonna be staying alive. Surprisingly, Fenrir not gonna be able to finish the kill, even with the help of that Spare of the 9 wins, even with the help of Kukulkan's dad and Kate. Trying to provide this escort mission, unfortunately seems to be a mission failed. Vexation dives, takes down the kill. The Spell Eater eats up the puppy dog. Any kill you get, you are going to die. I'm telling you. Menja is the only one to break free from that, but I don't know. There's a Loki around. That might change at any moment here. Something around the Rosie. Will we all fall down? Man like Mo says, I think I'm good for now. Sasano here, trying to take on this Loki at the moment. I'm telling you, dude, Menja, you gotta kill your next, buddy. It's been written in the stars. Maybe not. Face Tat goes down instead. Menja trying to break the streak. Oh no, you gotta kill, buddy. You could be in trouble. Hikante is gonna try to finish the job instead. Onto the soul. Not gonna be quite obliged. That immunity is certainly useful, and Desaparate gets them back to tower.
It's not plot armor. It's reverse plot armor. It's like you're plotted to die. It's like what happens every time you get a kill.
It's Final Destination. It's the Final Destination series of horror movies. And this series has been a horror movie because it's just been never ending as far as this endless loop of torture and bloodshed. This is the goriest movie I've ever seen. And with all the match cuts we're seeing that poor Tess has to put up with, it's a Quentin Tarantino film. And Django is unchained. Look at Fenrir go. Little Cuba turns around just to stare at him, says, "Really, buddy?" and backs away.
Trying to get the dog to stop humping your leg. I mean, that's really all he's doing with those basics. That kind of sucks to see. But what also sucks to see is 1, 2, 3 definitely getting chased away. Ooh, barely getting out by the skin on his tongue. Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, here in this left side, little match cut there. We're just gonna flash back. This is 30 years in the past. It's the tragic origin story of little Cuba. His dad, Big Cuba, as he fights down, as he fights the Queen Naga. The origin story we always needed but never asked for. Sasano retreats back into the mid lane. Kukulkan staying safe. I'm really liking Samir on this pick. It's already proving big dividends. Hardstuck Silver trying to make some dividends of their own. Take down that Queen Naga.
Queen Naga, that's a big one for sure. That's a big objective. Big Cuba, I feel really bad for what I'm seeing here. I think it's definitely a horror story, or not a horror story, a canon event.
Oh no, might be their death. Here comes the origin story. Father, no! He's taken away! Kidnapped! Who will raise your son? Does not seem like it's gonna be this guy. Chubby Ostrich tries to monitor, now has to go back and tell little Cuba what happened to his poor parent. Menja, though, won't be able to do the same. Gets taken out by Vexation. Chubby Ostrich will avenge his fallen brethren. He's on the rampage. He looks to carry on the legacy of the Big Iceman.
The Big Iceman indeed. Lil Cuba is feeling pretty big, just like his father. I think that there's a lot to love about having this Ymir around. Going to do some big things for you, especially Chubby Ostrich to follow up with damage. There is a lot to love for Alpha Wolves, but right now, the rest of Hardstuck Silver, you know, they're a little scared, but they're definitely feeling confident.
13 minutes. 16 to 15. Alpha Wolves take the lead on the kills. Take a slight lead on the gold, too. About 1,000 to their name. And they just got to keep that pressure going. At this point, Hardstuck Silver, they've got answers for sure. Like you said, Mort, they're fighting back. Samir's looking great on the Kukulkan. And Vexation, despite a bit of overzealotry, is playing very, very well to get these kills for the team. I think it's just going to come down to seeing where the group stage lies. It's not even just who has the better comp for team fighting, but do you want to team fight, or do you just want to take these small individual ones? 1, 2, 3. Answers the latter. Goes down there to the nice gank from Menja. Could be troublesome here if they keep losing these small kills in these small engagements. Chubby Ostrich helps take down that last tower. Here comes Kukulkan's dad to take down little Cuba, the son of their dad, Big Cuba, coming back for revenge. At the very least, though, no kills dropped in the mid lane quite just yet. I might have spoken too soon. Ymir, no longer a carry, no longer going to be providing those kills. Fenrir once again takes him away. Oh no, little Cuba, say goodbye to little Cuba for me. That's going to mean the bloodline continues as little Cuba Jr. takes up their father's name to begin the bloodshed once again. Seems it's happening here in the mid lane. Menja goes down thanks to Face Tat. These rotations, these ganks, these insane dives are resulting in so much bloodshed underneath these structures.
Take a look as Chubby Ostrich wants no deal with that. He is the son of his father, Obese Ostrich, but we see Vexation.
That's just messed up, bro. Don't body shame Fat Ostrich. It's Chubby Ostrich, Husky Ostrich, Fat Ostrich, and then Morbidly Obese Ostrich, okay? Everyone knows this. Do not disrespect his bloodline. It goes back for generations of the Smite community. You're about to get pentakilled yourself in your sleep, Mort. 17 to 17. 15 minutes. Vermelia Could be in trouble here to littlest Cuba, who's now working to try to carry on the bloodline. Absolutely insane dives we're seeing here, but doesn't seem like he'll be punished too hard for it unless that Neatholt says something different. Fenrir, though, coming back for you. Oh no, you're gonna need littlest Cuba in a second. If he goes down, your ice is being melted. Your son's coming up next. They're being drafted as soon as they're born. These poor Ymir mains are not having a good time.
Oh my goodness, that's a really big initiation from Sexation, the son of his father, Big Sexy.
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of bloodline jokes here.
Okay. 16 minutes. It's 17 to 18. I'm gonna start crying. Wolves still having, no longer having the lead in kills or gold, actually. So this actually is interesting. Hardstuck Silver reclaiming their spot on the throne. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really just owed to Alpha Wolf Sport just sending their bodies at the enemy team without regard for their own safety. 1, 2, 3, unfortunately, with his positioning, doesn't seem to regard for his own either. Chubby Ostrich takes him down to be avenged by 1, 2, 3, 4 in the future. Primelia takes down that tower on the left side. But unfortunately, little Cuba is going to be going down. Minuscule Cuba will be up next, though. Don't you worry.
1, 2, 3, coming back from the afterlife is 4, 5, 6. Gonna be followed up by Little Sexy and the Skinny Ostrich.
Fear gets down from Milia, and now it's gonna be Littleia. Face tat is gonna be now. I don't even know, face stencil, I guess. As Fenrir looks for some more kills here onto Fear. What's smaller than Fear, though? We're gonna have to find out here. Some philosophical questions being asked here in the booth, but nothing to ask about those stats. 20 to 20, all evened up. The gold spell's the same story. This is an insane slugfest, and we're seeing it again. Samir gets taken out there by Skinny Ostrich. Unfortunately, going to have to be avenged by malnourished Ostrich in just a second. If it continues this way, Vexation shuts him down.
Oh my goodness.
I'm running out of adjectives.
Son, boy like Mo.
I'm running out of adjectives. I'm running out of adjectives. I need to end this game quick.
The sweet littlest baby of Cuba throwing ice around, getting some big damage off for a massive push, being able to do his little rocket jump.
Oh my god. Okay, let's try to re-ascertain some gravitas here. Alpha Wolves, Hardstuck Silver. They're back in it. 18 minutes. This game's totally serial, for real. Alpha Wolves do obviously have answers as far as their offensive end goes. It's just, they've got to stop full sending it. There's no other way to say it more. There's no decorum I can give it. You guys just need to calm the hell down.
Why not? Why would we calm down? I mean, come on. 42 kills in 19 minutes. Why would we stop here? Why not we go for 100? Let's set a record. I mean, there are generations and generations of players going after this. Why not, you know, make some sacrifice worth the while?
Seems it might be the case here for my friend, more like Mo. Man like Mo, I can't even talk, and they can't even live. Stellar Burst, knock him to finish the job. No, one more basic does it. Chubby Ostrich returns it back. As soon as you die, the plot reverse armor takes your life. Face tat, gonna be taken off once again by Menja. Couple more kills here put in the pocket. It's 1-4-2 in favor of the Alpha Wolves. Menja just sits back and admires their handiwork, feeling good about how that one went. Now Alpha Wolves wrapping around, trying to look for this Fury. Let's see if they can grab it. It's going to be Fear trying to instill that exact same emotion into this Kukulkan, wrong god, but still the good character to chase down. Not going to be enough damage though, unfortunately. Means that they escape. Does mean though that Alpha Wolves grab that Fury in spades.
There's a lot on the line here. I mean, generations and generations fighting for this $20 that will go down in the history of the bloodline. Yeah, there's I can feel you there. I can feel you 100%. I mean, we've been casting this for hours, and it's been good gameplay for sure. I really thought this was going to be a quick one and done, and that might be why our mental's so in shambles right now. We thought we were going to be, already in bed or eating dinner, getting ready for bed, or whatever you want to say. But thank God that I'm an insomniac, and I'll be up all night casting Smite with you lovely viewers at home. We've got one hell of a fight between 1, 2, 3 and Fear. Maybe looking to respawn 4, 5, 6. Maybe going on the way to 7, 8, 9. Chalk putting out some big damage here.
Oh no, please don't tell me he dies. I can't count higher than 9. It's gonna be a Neathol coming in to try to prove me wrong. My math skills being put to the test. Fear takes him down thanks to that nice Road Weaver there by the Neath. It's just good rotational awareness there. Man like Mo trying to prove that they got the exact same skills we saw from Permilia in game 1, and finally breaks free of this kill stagnation. Alpha Wolves now up 24-22. Let's see if Hardstuck Silver can respond back. Vexation could be a bit of trouble. They've already used all their cooldowns, but not for much damage. Nice Ragnarok, plucks back, that's Usano, but they're going to put the Jet Stream right back on him. Now they're chasing him down instead. Teleports back in to try to find that kill. Storm Call limited by the wall of their own teammate. Will it be enough? Here comes Kukulkan ult, but it's still going to result in the fall of the puppy dog. And here come the tornadoes as well. Both tanks having to wander through that. They're in trouble. Kukulkan's coming for you with that slipstream. Loki as well off that back end. They decide they don't want to pursue any much further because the trap's being set. Chubby Ostrich is waiting in the wings. Seems they might have fallen for it though. Could be troublesome here as the Kate ult put down. Face Tat once again taken off the map.
Uh-oh, going for a snipe from downtown Chinatown. Man like Mo looking to grab a kill here. Make sure that siege is stopped. And man like Mo going to wipe Permilla off of the map. And that's going to be a good amount of pressure for Alpha Wolves. Not only getting a push on the solo side for that tier 2 tower, but also stopping Hardstuck Silver from grabbing a tier 2 tower of their own. That is a great way to communicate, to collaborate, and look for a big W here in game 4 of this amazing big series.
Cuba, please! Please, Cuba. I don't have any more adjectives for how small you can be. Fire Giant is going to be a big objective to look for, and Hardstuck Silver might just have the tools to respond. You want to see that Kukulkan ult being used here, but the Kukulkan's not going to be present. Danger Noodle not quite privy to the chase. Hardstuck Silver, though, finally realized what's going on, and they enter the fray with claws and teeth abound. Is it going to be their way? Fear grabs it for the Alpha Wolves, but they grab the kill on a little Cuba as well. Storm Call going to be calling for some more kills here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kills. They want it all. Vexation goes down as well. It's a 2-for-1, but an FG comforting Alpha Wolves despite having lost that friendly Ice Giant. They're still feeling good.
Hardstuck Silver and Alpha Wolves have been fighting back and forth for quite some time now, but Alpha Wolves have decided they're done playing with their food. They're done toying with their meal. It's time to eat. It's time to feast, as now they look to charge towards this tier 2 tower and take it right off of the map. And I think that they've got some bigger plans in store with that Fire Giant in pocket.
They've got Liberty to try to challenge this Phoenix on the right side. They have to divide their attentions here for the Hardstuck Silver. They're doing so well. Kukulkan is a very good defense mage to be playing. So at the very least, they can drop tornadoes, stall their efforts, and we're seeing it. Right side Phoenix, they couldn't even enter past the threshold. They're going to try to do the same thing for the mid. With success, forces back the Loki. Fortunately, can't force back the Ragnarok, as well as Menja. Forced back into the midst of their base, taken out there by Permilia. But the damage on Hardstuck Silver is nothing to sneeze at. They're poked out. Soul going to try to heal back a little bit with that Radiance, but that Axe brings them right back down to a quarter. Fenrir lurking in the sides. We go back for some health vexation before you decide to re-enter the fray. At this point, they could have. Chubby Ostrich takes down Permilia, needs a bit more food. Get some meat on them bones. Bit more damage here dropping in as Man Like Mo takes down Face Tat. The Alpha Wolves are done playing with their food. They see blood in their eyes. They see red. A Kukulkan ult's what I see, but it's not going to be able to take them down. Fear fears nothing, and the Alpha Wolves leave with the bird in tow.
We are potentially solidifying the seeds of Alpha Wolf's victory here tonight in Game 4. They did slip one up, but this doesn't mean that they're out just yet. Alpha Wolves have very big seeds planted into the ground, and let's just not hope that Hardstuck Silver maybe look to plant some concrete on top of those seeds so they can't grow.
Gold Fury, gonna be able to at least fund that renovation project if you do decide to buy some concrete. Sure, Gold Fury can be helpful for it. Wall put up just to make sure no one's watching, no voyeurs are peeping in on the scene. And it doesn't seem like Hardstuck Silver are going to be trying. Another Fury goes down their way, means the next one will be an Ancient Fury. About 25 minutes into this game. 31-24. favor of Alpha Wolves. About a 10,000 gold lead, favor of their way as well, and that gift is only going to do more for it. Look at that, 30 gold, boom! Count it, in the pocket. Hardstuck Silver. Need to find a way, need to find a pick to get themselves back into the forefront. 1, 2, 3, could find themselves in a bit of trouble. Menja diving in deep. Just opening the door for Chubby Ostrich to finish the job. Not going to be quite obliged. Typhoon's been expended. So has that Pursue of the Week. As he runs all the way. Look how much distance he gains. Dude's a track star. I don't know why Mordred's even here, bro. He should be in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he shouldn't be a god of whatever he is. He should be a god of running, the god of.
He's not even a god. He's literally the table breaker. I break tables. You did wrestling more. You could break tables. You're a god. Put him in this game.
Look, I'd love to be nice to you here, D-Lo, but I don't think you could break a table.
Okay. Okay. You're right. You didn't have to say it on stream, but you're right. Damn. Hurts. That's okay. I'm the ankle breaker. No, I'm not. I'm actually really slow, too. That's okay. Let's see what they can make here on this left side instead. We're the tower breakers on the Alpha Wolves. Tier 2 does go down. Trying to look for this Phoenix. Trying to look for 1, 2, 3. How high can you count? Doesn't matter. You're dead. Man like Mo. Wipes him away. Little Cuba. Now trying to move through as well. Shock. Frontlining. Putting on them zoning duties. Fender in the back. Eliminated their health bar with the quickness, but picks up a shoot toy on the way back too. Fear goes down. Shut down is big. Little Cuba as well. The front line's been decimated. Chubby Ostrich, though, counters that. Menja down as well. 2 for 3 so far. Left side Phoenix will go down, but Alpha Wolves now have to tuck tail and run once again. This just might go to 50 minutes once again, Mort. Who the hell knows?
Might go to 50. It might go to 60. We might be here for 2 hours for all I know. SMITE 2 game durations have been all over the place. But I'll tell you this, I think you got what it takes. You might not be a table breaker. You might not be an ankle breaker, but you do have the power of persuasion, the gift to gab, speech level 100, D-Lo. You just got to believe in yourself here. And I think we're going to find a fun cast ahead of us as we now see at the 27-minute mark, 33 kills go to the hands of Alpha Wolves, and Hardstuck Silver have 27 in theirs. There is about a 10,000 gold lead in the hands of Alpha Wolves, and I think they're definitely feeling confident, especially considering the builds here, D-Lo. Take a look at what we're looking at. I see the Book of Thoth fully stacked on 3 different gods here, the Gauntlet of Thieves and the Transcendence, which is massive. A lot of big stacking, which is going to help in the later parts of the game, just like this. They invested in this phase from the get-go. They decided we're going to rock them in the late game, and here they are in the late game, pushing, little by little, Phoenix by Phoenix, and I think they've definitely got a amazing game plan going into this. I mean, take a look at Chalk here. There's a Transcendence and a Book of Thoth on Chalk. That is crazy. I mean, absolute cookery from Orange Mixer.
Given the fact that Alpha Wolves are definitely not respecting their teammates' calls for retreat, retreat, retreat right lane, retreat, I'm surprised they can read it all. So I'm really surprised to see 3 books of Thoth. They're just building up a library, but only for decoration. It's just books they keep on the shelf to impress people who come to visit their house. They never read them. That's okay, though. Fire Giant's the play we're trying to look for instead. Alpha Wolves trying to pick this one off with the quickness, but Hardstuck Silver, aware of that. Fenrir's looming in the distance. Vexation chooses to put their sights instead on Susano as the FG goes down with the quickness. No issue there. Now Alpha Wolves trying to finally finish the job on the limping Gazelle. Can we sink our teeth into the jugular?
They're almost done. This could be the last fight if they don't play their cards correctly. Loki, you better get your ass back to base because there's one hell of a fight on its way to this Phoenix here in the middle lane.
And it's going to start in earnest. Here comes Kukulkan to try to provide that tower defense, but that Phoenix, no health to defend that much. Cuba, though, in a bit of trouble. That tornado did awfully large amounts of damage. Might be the first one to fall. Permilia takes that kill. Chubby Ostrich returns it right back on a face tap for the Rampage. Ragnarok means that Permilia's down for fear, but they can still grab a target and try to bring it right back. Menja takes down 1, 2, 3. Only 2 members left. It's Samir, though, and that's the one you want. The tornado's a bit off the mark, and the Hecatail is going to bring him right back. Samir goes down, only to watch his father grace the battlefield. It's not going to be enough, though. The Alpha Wolves are howling for blood. They're howling for the $20. It goes firmly in their pockets.
I'm Mike speaking. That probably didn't pick up, but it felt cool in my head.
You got it,
I think
bro.
we did cool. We did cool.
Yeah,
we did cool,
bro.
Wow! Shout out to Alpha Wolves. I mean, we're talking. I definitely thought that things were going to go their way because Game 3 happened, and they said that was a fluke. we can't go slept on. We can't go underestimated. We have to put our best foot forward. We have to go absolutely crazy here. And Hardstuck Silvers, they did what they could. They really put forth one hell of an effort for quite amount of time. But take a look as Alpha Wolves shining in style. I mean, look at that victory screen.
Look at that. They're buying them Ray-Bans. They're buying them Threads, all with them $20. Those Marlboro cigars. You know they're living large with that $20 to be divvied up amongst them. Genuine congratulations there to the Alpha Wolves. They put up a great fight and gave us a great show. Chubby Ostrich gave us our first, I'm sure many of us, Smite 2 Pentakill to grace a casting screen. But credit must also be given to our friends in Hardstuck Silver. They kept scrapping with such grit and determination that you just can do nothing but tip your cap to them. So excellent work to both sides, but more, let's take a look at the stat boards here. What catches your eye?
I do see the Lil Ymir. You know what? You can't sleep on the build, right? I love the Gauntlet. I love the Amanita Charm. I think there's a lot of big healing there, as well as the active with the Purification Talus. There's a lot to love with Low Cuban. While it might not look incredible on the stat line, I still think that he definitely did some big things for his team. We saw some good freezes. We saw some good AoEs. You know, a lot of big things, that's for sure.
A lot of big things and a lot of littler Cubas as we just continue to chip little bits of him off the old block. Dear God, what a slugfest. And I think that just shows what Smite 2 can become. It can be a game of incredible tight efficiency, that 17-minute game that we saw before. But then it can very easily, with the rotation ability of those teleporters and the gods that are in game being quite speedy. Of course, you have your blinks, you've got your combat relics, you've got your boars that can just charge you into battle if in the middle of your abilities as well. There's a lot of tools to move across the map with some quickness. And I think it's showing that even though the map's wider, you're never really safe. When you get a kill, it's like you said, Mort, death is always looming around the corner. But you know it's also looming around the corner? Nice little payday for our friends, the Alpha Wolves. So congratulations. You guys win the fat prize wallet. Hardstuck Silver, unfortunately, stuck with that silver medal in second place. That being said, that is all we have here for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm the Tarasu's Presence, R3's Big Bash. Congratulations to our victors, the Alpha Wolves. I've been Dilo. Joined here by Morton Man for the fun, we had Tess, Almighty Eye in the Sky, production extraordinaire. Please thank our amazing production for all they did today. Not only is the Smite 2 Spectator incredibly difficult to maneuver, but that was absolute chaos. You guys made it hell for us, so they deserve their props. Please make sure to drop them in the chat. With that, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this one just as much as we all did. It was an absolute blast to cast. With that, good games and good night.
Thanks, y'all.